All right, we are back. That's the last time ever that we will try to do something that has been suggested to us by a listener. As Maddie said,
we'll do anything you want.
Yeah,
that's proven here.
As Maddie said, we're blaming the listener for what just happened there. Welcome back, everybody. The Nielson Show continues on. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studios. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. And, we are back. Belineski says, forgot to pay the internet bill. Scurbs is in and says, is this what the apocalypse feels like? That was almost like the day that we got killed by Bell. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody was expecting it to happen, and all of a sudden,
a little bit of scrambling.
Just disappeared.
Yeah.
Things just disappeared. But we are back now. So basically, let's just bring everybody up to speed. Basically, what happened was we had a listener who texted in and said they were watching on TV for the first time, and they were wondering if they could see the nasty chat on the television. So in the program that we stream with, there's an option where you can throw the chat session up on the video screen. So Maddie goes to throw that up there on the video screen, and it completely killed the internet connection to the program. That was really, really, really strange. There's no reason that should have done that, but the exact moment he went to click that through, the internet connection just died. So that was strange to us. But we got through it, and we are back. VR Montenegro says, yeah, we're going to have to ban that guy. Who was it? Who was the guy?
We need a name? We need a name.
Yeah, we need to name names.
A timeout, a banning, yeah.
We need to name names because that's absolutely ridiculous. That was extremely frustrating. But we are back, smooth sailing the rest of the way, we would think. We just won't do anything suggested to us by listeners anymore because that was a tough look. But we are back. Audio stream's back as well. We're getting the audio stream. All right, welcome back on TuneIn, everybody. Sorry for the hiccup. We will never try to put the comments on the video screen ever again. Look at that, Mr. Lean. Man, not only did Alphonso Davies not get an assist yesterday, but then this happened. So, sorry, that was Mr. Sprinkle. That wasn't Mr. Lean. Let's get this show back on track. Let's crack some packs for Wayne Sports Cards, right? Let's do it. Here we go.
If you see a card store on the side of the road, you think, gotta tweet it to the
Crack Pack! Crack Pack, yeah. I'm tracking down all the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today. Looking for the young guns today.
I got me a card, it's a heck of a pull, and we're tweeting it out to the Crack Pack. I got me a canvas, it's worth about 20, so hurry up and sell it to get more money.
The Crack Pack is a little old gang where we can crack together. Crack Pack, baby.
A Crack Pack, baby.
Crack Pack, baby, Crack Pack. Crack Pack, baby, Crack Pack. Crack Pack, baby,
Crack Pack. Crack Pack, baby, Crack Pack. So we have not done this on the show. We've done these before. I've done them in the Crack Pack. You've been in breaks, so we've done these.
Ooh.
Get this at Wayne Sports Cards. CFL playoff weekend, East Final, West Semi.
Yeah.
I have brought in one of those boxes
Oh.
of SP game used CFL. There are 15 cards in this box. 10 of them are autographed. You will never find a hit rate like this in any other product ever. It's absolutely insane. Part of me thinks it was a major mistake because I don't know how you're getting 10 autos out of a box. So obviously at Wayne's, you can go in and get these CFL boxes. They've got the Upper Deck Series 1, or the Upper Deck for the last 3, 4, 5 years sitting in there, and then you can get the CFL game used. And these are just absolutely insane. The fact that, I remember the first time I opened one of these, I was like, there's 10 autographs in here. This has to be a mistake. But then every single time you open a box, there's 10 autographs of the 15 cards. So it comes in 5 packs. So there you go. There's 2 packs. I'll take 2 packs.
Well, happy
rock, paper,
divisional
scissors
weekend.
for the last pack.
2 out of 3 or what?
2 out of 3. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, back-to-back paper. And I snip them twice. All right. So this product is insane. For anybody who's cracked cards before, and the new SPA hockey came out last week. I had that dream this week about Wayne's and Connor Bedard, Young Gun release day. Remember?
Yeah,
it was insane. The line just kept going the entire dream.
The never-ending line.
So this is great. So I've got a Greg Reed Fabrics, Tavon Smith Edmonton Elks auto, and an Eric Rogers Toronto Argos auto out of 115. So 2 autos in that pack.
These
3
are
cards.
Jeremiah Mazzoli Fabrics, a Dante Absher signed.
Yeah.
James Wilder Jr.
Ooh, James Wilder Jr.
The Wild
CFL
Man.
scripts. Like, if you're a CFL fan and for some reason you haven't tried out these game-used 2021 set, you are missing out. It's absolutely insane.
Treat yourself for divisional final weekend. Hey, why
Well,
not?
you have to,
That's
pretty
the
much.
Treat, I think, with these.
Jake Thomas Fabrics. This dude is still... Oh, look at this. Back-to-back Jake Thomas. I got a Jake Thomas auto kicking in here as well.
Javon Johnson Fabrics. Thank you very much.
Andrew Harris, CFL Scripts auto, 9 out of 25. Maddie, show this card up on the video there. Is that another CFL Scripts? Yeah, it is.
84 to 100. Michael Riley. Michael Riley. On the card.
There you go. There's that Andrew Harris. This is insane. We're not making it up. There's 10 autos in this box. That Mike Riley looks real nice. Michael Riley.
These
sorry.
are, can I say, dope?
Very
Like,
dope.
very
these
dope.
are
Yeah, like-
insane. This is like one of my favorite products to crack. All right, who else do we got? Whoa, Jake Serezna. Jake Serezna Fabrics right there.
Nice one.
So every single card is either a fabric card or an autograph card. They're all hits. The hit rate is 100%. Your fullback from your Saskatchewan Roughriders, Albert Awachi. Autograph. That's for you, buddy. And Darvin Adams, 76 out of 115, also autoed. So if you are a fan, actually there are people who just collect autos. It doesn't even, like, I was in there one day, Wayne was telling me, it doesn't even matter about the sport. Like, they just collect autographs. This product is the best if you want to collect autographs. 10 autographs in a box of 15 cards. The other 5 cards are patch cards. I honestly will never believe that they did not just screw up this print run. And all of a sudden, like, they just hit the button where it's like, just make the hits. And then they're like, screw it. Let's just pack them and send it out.
I love it.
Because there's technically not even a base. The whole base is autoed.
This will get you into cracking packs. Like this.
Oh, yeah, you won't stop.
Yeah.
I've got 3 boxes of this
Hits in
stuff
every-
just sitting in the basement right now, just for like when I need a pick-me-up. I'm like, man, I haven't hit anything lately, whether it's like betting or in cards. I'm like, man, I haven't pulled an auto in forever. Then you just go open up one of these, and your confidence level's back to 100.
It's like playing the Sharks or the Oilers.
Yeah, one or the other. It doesn't matter. Good to see the Nasty Chat has bounced back here.
Hit that like.
Yeah, hammer that like. We're
Hit that
behind on
like
the likes
again.
now.
2 likes for the
like,
show.
is there any way that we can get to 200 likes on a show that was interrupted 45 minutes in?
Daunting task.
That's going to be tough to do. But hey, if the Oilers can get a win tonight, why can't we? CFL cards, NFL cards, basically anything you want to collect, you can find at Wayne Sports Cards. Legos, Magic, everything. Everything you want to collect, you can find at Wayne Sports Cards, just north of West Edmonton Mall.
Pogs as well. Keenies, slammers.
There's some
you can go
little
in
bit
there,
of that,
yeah,
little
some
bit of that
pucks,
kicking in.
all that stuff.
I've been going to Wayne's for, I don't know, like 10 years. And there's still things I find in there. I was like, I didn't know you guys had this. So, yeah, you can get lost in there. But go pick up some of these CFL cards. And like I said, SPA dropped last week. I've got now 9 boxes sitting in my basement for a break at some point. So I got to get another break in here. I've got 9 box break that has some real heat in it. So if you're a member of the Crack Pack over on Facebook, be ready. I don't know when I'm going to be able to get to that. As soon as CFL's done, I'll be cracking.
I do like
crazy,
keeping these, though, for a pick-me-up. That's a great idea. Anytime you need to feel good about yourself or the collecting game, right? You just open one of these, and it's instant gratification.
Yeah, it's
instant
nice.
Positivity.
Yeah, it makes you
straight
feel
into the
like you're
veins,
extremely successful, right? Scurbson says, do you guys think Ohtani will be sought-after card eventually? Seems like him compared to Trout. Trout is massive. Yeah, I've got an Ohtani rookie that I decided to buy. Not as a full-blown Trevor Lawrence investment style, but I had to have one, so I've got one. I think Ohtani's I think that's the that's a good piece to collect.
An investment, shall we say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm you know Troy, my ex-brother-in-law.
Yeah, the guy that crushed 6.
Yeah, he comes in here, has 6 drinks and leaves. He's got a bunch of Ohtani rookies, which was probably a pretty smart.
Troy, if you're listening, I'll see you tonight. Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino Fort Road, where every day and every night is game day. Panthers and Bears tonight, Oilers and Sharks as well. And the $9.99 smoked brisket cheesesteak. You get a side of au jus and your choice of side. You can have the yam fries. You can have regular fries. You can have a mashed potato.
There's nothing like a side of au jus and some gravy rolling in.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's about as good
You're
as
dipping
you
for
get.
flavor at this point.
That is about as good as you get. All right, we do have Luke Gazdick coming up. Ian Rappaport's going to join us to set up the Thursday nighter. I got
week
beef.
10 in the NFL. That's
And
just
an all-timer, I got beef around 7:30 today. And, of course, a Cool Bet hotline coming up around 7:20.
Boy, where did they scratch this thing? That's what I'm wondering. It's got to be some sort of vandalism done to your vehicle, your new whip, right? I'm hot. I mentioned truck, and then you just sat there and smiled at me. I don't want to guess too much, but it had to have been something bad.
Well, it's not good. You don't have beef with things that are good, Eric.
New truck.
You don't have beef with things that are good. So we'll get into that. Let's get to a sports rewind with Lieutenant Eric. Luke Gazdick coming up as well.
Three games last night around the NHL. Cam Talbot, 37 saves. Kings win their 7th straight on the road, 4-1 over Vegas. Leafs have lost 5 of their past 6, following a 6-3 loss to Ottawa. And Sam Reinhart with the overtime winner, Panthers over the Caps, 4-3. Oilers in San Jose tonight to take on the Sharks in one of 11 games around the NHL. Tom Gazzola has your Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. Coverage beginning at 6:30 tonight right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Week 10 of the NFL kicking off from Chicago this evening. You can join me at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge when the Bears take on the Panthers. It'll be your next chance to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to catch the Rams and Browns. Also, $9.99 smoked brisket cheesesteak night. Pascal Siakam, 31 points. Raps handing the Mavericks their first home loss of the season, 127-116. Raptors will remain on the road and visit Boston Saturday. Celtics falling last night to the 76ers, 106-103. And the Rockets upending the Lakers, 128-94. Sports update for Universal Rewind. If your motor is performing like the Oilers, it might be time for a rewind. If only we could rewind the Oilers season.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. NHL analyst Luke Gazdick. Brought to you by Pro-Am Sports on Edmonton Sports Talk.
$7:03 on the Nielsen Show. Thank you very much for being here today. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Andrew's in on the Nasty Chat today as well and says, do you think Woody walks in today and says to the team, if you lose, I'm gone? How's that for a motivational speech from your head coach who comes in and says, listen, guys, I would like to continue to work here. If you could please get this done, that would be terrific. We'll get into that a little bit with Luke Gazdick when he pops by. NHL last night, just 3 games on tap in the NHL last night. The Ottawa Senators doubling up the Toronto Maple Leafs 6-3. Florida Panthers in overtime 4-3. Florida Panthers get the win on the road in Washington. And then the Los Angeles Kings. If you watched, and I was exchanging text messages with Gager and Cass during this game, if you watched the Kings and Golden Knights last night, how much of a wake-up call was that for Oilers fans? Like, did you watch the game last night? I watched the first period and a half, and those guys just play a different way than the Edmonton Oilers play. I know that the Oilers pushed the Golden Knights really heavily last year, and I know they beat the Los Angeles Kings last year, but that team that we've watched this year so far with the Edmonton Oilers, not even close to being on a level with what you saw from the Kings and the Golden Knights last night. It also ended up coming in under the 6.5, which I had on a little 2-gamer with the Sens and Leafs over 6.5. That game was under 6.5. That was a little lock shop special yesterday, so hopefully you rode with me on that one. But the Los Angeles Kings last night get the job done. 7th straight game on the road, 4-1 in Vegas. Cam Talbot in that game stops 37 of 38, peppered at times, but still looked pretty damn good. And Talbot has had an excellent start to the season so far for the Los Angeles Kings. That was just an excellent hockey game to watch.
7-0
between
on the
those
road.
two clubs.
Perfect on the road.
Yeah,
for the
perfect
Kings.
on the road. I think in their last, what was it? The last 11 now. They have points in 10 of 11.
They've won 4 straight. Canucks have won 4 straight. The Golden Knights have dropped 2 in a row.
Scurbs is in. It says Kings in Vegas play men's hockey. The Oilers play like they're Team Canada at the World Juniors. So we'll get into that. Of course, you can text us your thoughts on all of it. 780-218-9999 in the Paris Jewelers inbox. Luke Gazdick is brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned fan gear and fan cave specialist located on St. Albert Trail, 1 block north of Yellowhead, or online at proamsports.ca. Like you, they are fans too. Mr. Gazdick, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Morning, gents. How we doing today?
Well, as you would expect in Edmonton, as the team continues to struggle, but they get the San Jose Sharks tonight, so we'll set that up here. But first of all, Golden Knights and Kings last night, like big boy hockey in the Pacific. Los Angeles, Talbot between the pipes. They had the big addition on a trade that I didn't necessarily like for them by bringing in Pierre-Luc Dubois. I thought they gave up quite a bit to get him, but you cannot argue with Los Angeles' start to the season, can you?
Yeah, talk about like what you said. Sorry, my mic here. Talk about like what you said, big boy hockey.
Yeah.
These are two teams that play honest, man. They don't give you anything. They are tough to play against. They don't cheat on pucks. It was like a whole different style of hockey, hey? Watching those two teams go at it than what we've seen. Like, not to rip the Oilers, but compare that to the game versus the Canucks on Monday, and it's like we're watching a different league, man.
Yeah, that's exactly kind of what that texter said as well. Although Evil Twin says, don't insult the World Juniors by comparing them to the Oilers, which is where the Oilers are at right now. Like, and we'll get to this game against the San Jose Sharks and how it could be a get-right spot. But, you know, the Sharks did just win their first game of the season, so can't take them too lightly, I guess. But what are your thoughts on Jack Campbell being sent down? First of all, let's just start with him because, you know, he's a guy that has admitted in the past, you know, he struggles with things mentally at times when it comes to the position and playing in the National Hockey League. How do you think he handles being sent down to the American Hockey League? Could this end up being great for him, or is this going to be something even more difficult for him to overcome to deal with a blow to your confidence?
Yeah, man, I think there's a very human element to this too. I mean, I've been a casualty of the waiver wire while on a one-way contract, albeit not making it as much as Jack or on the term that he was, but there's a very human side of this, man. And I feel for Jack. I mean, you're picking up your life, getting sent down to go stay in a hotel for a bit and be by yourself. It's punishment enough in itself, and kind of leaving your life and where you were. And I feel for him in that way. But like you guys have talked about, it's a results driven league, right? And just couldn't roll him out there anymore. I actually think this is good for him. I think he can go down there, play some games, try to get some confidence back. I don't know whether we see him again, right? Like this is kind of on Jack's shoulders now.
Yeah.
But it's good for him regardless, man. I think he'll be able to try to get his confidence back at least. But, you know, I feel for him, man, because I know he's a big part of that locker room, and it's kind of a message and a little bit of a wake-up call to the rest of the guys.
Okay, yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I wanted to go next. You mentioned he's a big part of the locker room. We were sitting here and trying to figure out, you know, exactly what have the Oilers accomplished by sending Jack Campbell down outside of, you know, if you believe in him being able to get his game back on track. That's fine. I mean, his save percentage is actually better than Stuart Skinner so far this year. So they have not had any sort of help between the pipes from either of those two guys. So you bring up Calvin Pickard. How much does this shock the room? Like, is this the accountability that people have been calling for? Does this give everybody else a wake-up call? Because I don't know how many other guys are in fear of being sent down. You know, like, it's just not going to happen because they don't have enough bodies to really almost dress a full roster every single lineup anyway.
Yeah, I think it sends a message for sure, especially for how well liked he was. Even for me, like I wasn't surprised, I would say, but I was still shocked, right?
Yeah.
Like he's only a year and a couple months into this thing, and that's Kenny Holland signing, right? So I'm sure he wanted to give him as much leash and room as he could before he had to make this decision. But I think it's just a wake up call in the room for the guys to kind of look around and be like, okay, changes are going to start to happen now, and it could be any of us, right? I think this is a wake up call for Skinner as well. Honestly, like it really shows that they're not going to be afraid to make changes. But hopefully Stu can go on a run here, and Calvin can even jump in and provide some good starts if he has to. But I think the guys look around, and hopefully it kind of kicks them in the tail a little bit, and they're just like, hey, you know what, this is more so on us. He had to make some saves, but heck, we're not playing too well in front of him either. So hopefully it's a bit of a wake up call for those guys.
Would you start Pickard tonight?
Oh man, I don't think so.
No,
I don't think you do.
Okay.
Skins is your guy, man. Skin. This is a message to him now that this is your team. This is your role. This is your job. And I think you go back to him, let him go in there tonight. I hope these guys have an absolute heyday on the Sharks. I really do. I think these are what you guys can call trap games, where teams will play down to the level of your opponent, right? I think I live here in Toronto. A perfect example was a couple weeks ago. Chicago walked in here, and the Leafs have this tendency of playing down to their opponent. Like Edmonton can't fall into that trap tonight.
That can't be a thing tonight, right? Like when you're the second worst team in the league, you can't get trapped by the worst team in the league, I would think.
I know. It's just like you really have to set the tone right away. Like Connor has got to be absolutely buzzing from puck drop. And you talk about in the room, we would always be saying, don't even give these guys a sniff. Don't even give these guys a chance. Like get right after them right away, get some goals early. But to answer your previous question, I think you go with Skins and let him go on a bit of a heater here. Let him get a couple games together and see what he can do before you go to pick. That's my opinion.
Yeah, that's kind of the interesting debate here. And most people are actually, like, we had a poll question up yesterday. It's like 65% of fans are saying you just start Pickard because that actually provides a shock to the team. But this morning we kind of made the case that this is a chance for Skinner to get a win with the guys and start feeling good about his game as well. So there's a case to be made on either side of it. I'll be very fascinated to see what Jay Woodcroft does with it, because I don't think they're bringing up Calvin Pickard to just turn the net over to him. Right, you said it. This puts a lot on Skinner here to actually get this done right now. They've also mixed up the line combinations a little bit, finally split up McDavid and Draisaitl because that just was not working, even though they left them together for quite some time. Yesterday at practice, it was McLeod with McDavid and Hyman, Holloway with Draisaitl and Fogle, and then that Nuge, Gagne, Kane line that has actually looked pretty good at times. Your thoughts on Holloway being with Draisaitl and McLeod getting an opportunity here to finally find his game alongside Connor McDavid?
Yeah, I really like that third line of, the vet boys with Nugent and Gags and Kaner. But, man, I know you and me are both Holloway fans. I know he hasn't, gotten on the score sheet, but I would have loved to try him with Connor one of these times. I watched Matthew Nyes here in Toronto. They finally gave him a chance on the top line with Austin Matthews, and he's delivered in the last couple games. And I think this is a chance for Ryan McLeod too. We really have to see him get going and start to create some offense here. I think it balances out the lines pretty good. But like I said, man, I kind of wanted to see Dylan get a shot alongside Connor, but him with Leon's a good match too. This is a guy he's going to, move his legs and get to those areas where Leon can feed him. So I'm excited to see Woody roll through those tonight. And I'm really looking for one of those two guys to start providing some offense in McLeod and Holloway. Really, tonight is the night where if there's any night you can probably try to get on the board, it's tonight.
Luke, you mentioned earlier as well, and you're out there, Maple Leafs. If there's one thing that can kind of cure, I think, Oilers fans' misery this season, it's to know that they're not lighting the world up on fire out east there. Just your comments on the Leafs. Again, last night, 6-3 to the Sens. What's going on out there in Toronto?
Man, for me personally, these are the two teams I watch more than anything. My hometown team and then my alma mater team that I, cover a lot. And it's sad, dude. It's like I'm watching a mirror of the same two teams. It's like the same thing last night in Toronto. It's a team that doesn't play too well defensively, isn't getting the saves right now. It's like kind of a lot of the same problems we're seeing. I think the biggest difference with Toronto is they don't really have a problem scoring goals right now, which you really can't say the same about the Oilers. But man, a lot of the same problems we're seeing between these two teams, and hopefully they can both figure it out for the future coming up here.
I'm pretty sure media in Toronto and the fan base are handling this really well, though, right?
Oh, yeah. Everyone's calm and cool and collected over here. No one's freaking out at all.
You mentioned the goal scoring, and at least Toronto can do that. I can't believe we're sitting here in early to mid-November, and you just said that the Oilers are having trouble scoring goals, and we're like, yeah, they are. Like, the one thing that this team should be able to do is score goals. What are you not seeing? Like, they're getting chances. Is this just one of these things where everybody is gripping the stick a little tighter, or are they not getting greasy enough around the net?
Yeah, I never thought we'd be saying this and they'd be having this problem. Like, how many times last year would they go down 2, 3, 4 goals in a game and we'd be like, oh, they're all right.
Yeah.
They'll be okay. They'd go down 3 and I'd be like, you know what? I'm still hammering these guys. They're gonna rip off 3 here. And now it's like they go down 2-1 in that Vancouver game, and it's like, man, I don't know if they're coming back. And I think that's the biggest difference I see. And if you watch, I think it's a lot of body language, and it's a lot of, their mannerisms when they get scored on and they get down in games. You can see more visible frustration, where last year it wasn't even a thing. They were just going back out, playing, rolling them over. And in saying that, like Connor and Leon, it's quite honestly, they know they got to be better. They know they haven't played their best hockey, but in terms of scoring goals, like I watched that first period again against Van. They could have been up 3-rip. You're going against a hot goaltender, but it's the adversity thing for me. And it's kind of the way they're carrying it and how visibly they're showing that frustration when they don't score. That's the biggest change I see from last year, where they could have been down a couple and it didn't matter. So I don't know what you do to change that, whether it's leadership in the room, whether it's an attitude thing. But as soon as they get down in games, there needs to be a bit of a switch that they can turn on.
What did you think of that last game, how they kind of came unhinged at the end? McDavid, trying to play physical, gets called. Draisaitl takes a 10. Woodcroft gets ejected from the game. Like, do you look at that and go, oh, I love the fire here? Or do you look at it and go, well, the game was pretty much already over and they were just losing their cool because, they're frustrated with what's happening here. So how do you weigh that?
Well, first of all, I have a big line in my notes that says scrum with 97, need everybody involved. Yeah. And that reminded me of that's with Miller in front of the net. Like, I know Ryan McLeod got in there eventually, but like, you turn around and you see your captain take one shot. Like, I'm talking gloves into the third row, shedded 5-on-5. Like, especially at that point in the game, I would have liked to see a bit more of a response in that scenario. But in terms of the frustration boiling and Woody getting kicked out, listen, I would rather see that than them just roll over and die and just go away quietly and peacefully. Like, I'd at least like them to put up a bit of a fight and, have a couple scrums, couple face washes at least, and like show some emotion. Like, I don't mind that at all. And if you read that as negative frustration, sure, you can, but I don't mind that at all. I think that's better than just going quietly into the night and saying, here's another loss. Like, I think that's Woody sticking up for his team with some pretty brutal officiating, and to be completely honest, and it's guys visibly showing frustration that, to be honest, I don't mind.
Gaz, as always, buddy, we really appreciate it, man. When are you going to be on Sportsnet again?
Tonight, baby, 6:30 Hockey Central, and then I'll be doing the intermissions for the Oil Sharks.
Oh, all right, buddy. Nice. We'll be looking forward to it. Don't say bad things. You'll piss people off out here, right? So,
always positive, boys. Always positive.
See you later, man. There you go. That's Luke Gazdick. What an addition to the lineup he's been for us this year. Brought to you by Pro-Am Sports, your locally owned fan gear and fan cave specialist, located on the St. Albert Trail, 1 block north of the Yellowhead, or online at proamsports.ca. Like you, they're fans too. That's why they probably started Pro-Am, because they were fans and wanted to have one of the coolest places ever. Gazdick was great. I loved it when he makes a good point. Like, the fact that McLeod, and it was delayed, was the guy that came in to McDavid's aid. I don't care if you're tied up with somebody else. If you see somebody getting in Connor McDavid's face, what did Gazdick say? It's gloves in the third row. Like, yeah, that just don't fly. Like, that just can't happen. So, although at that point, I thought McDavid might drop him. I thought McDavid was like, screw it, let's go.
Well, at this point, yeah. I mean, you're looking for anything and everything, right? Why not?
Over in the nasty chat, Kevin Starrett, watching out of Georgia this morning, says, it's sad, dude. Throw that on some AM Nasty merch, which actually brings me back around. I want to plug the store right now. We have a pop-up store. It's shutting down on Wednesday, the 15th. On the 15th will be the last day. Are we back? Oh, you just caught us in the middle of charades. In the middle of charades, we had the
chat is now the audio.
Is it, Maddie, is this on you again?
No,
is this on you again?
That's only the second time that has happened where it just stopped recognizing our board mid-show. And I had to turn off our board and turn our work
What are you
back
guys
on.
doing over there today?
That one literally is nothing. We've had this happen once before. So for the person saying, wake up sound technician, there's
Wake
nothing
up
we could have
sound
done.
wait.
We had a...
Did you just say literally nothing happened?
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
Nothing we did that happened. It just stopped recognizing the board. I had to turn off the board and turn it back
Why
on.
are there some gremlins here today? You know what this probably is? It's probably the coffee. Like, we tried to have the coffee to get the Oilers off the snide. We had the coffee, and all it's done is lead to issues
You know what
today.
this is? This is the bad stuff being sent out early this morning.
The
so
bad
the Oilers
jujus.
can go out and win a hockey game later tonight.
We're taking it upon ourselves.
We're taking the bad stuff. We are going to poorly execute things so that the Oilers will be ready to go 8:30 tonight.
I was full-blown into a game of charades over here. And then the audio came back, so we didn't have to continue with that.
Again, that's only the second time it's ever happened, but our board, like, it's on, it's operational, we're getting levels, but for some reason, our program doesn't care to listen. Like, it's just like, we're good, we're done. So I have to actually literally power down our board and power it back up to get us going again.
So why'd you hook your mic up anyway? You can get in on the store. You had details on the store.
Yeah, I was going to say that also. We actually added some youth and toddler shirts.
Oh, right. I didn't know
if you
this.
have- they just went up last night.
For the little nasties.
So if you have a kid, I think 2T, 3T, 4T for toddlers, and then we have some just youth-size shirts, white and navy, but a couple of...
I guess I should probably get my kids something.
There's the reason I put that up there.
Yeah, I should probably get my kids something.
nieces, and it's mostly, I think it's for family that we know. But if you had some kids that you wanted to... wear some nasty gear and stuff. We got a couple of things that added up. So.
All right, so hop in there. The store will be going offline on the 15th, so you got to get to that right away.
Christmas is coming. This is your one-stop shop. You can get it all. You can cross off half or three-quarters of your list easily on this pop-up shop.
Oh, I think so.
Easy.
Yeah. No, I think so. Gus is in and says Holloway is trending on the same path as McLeod. His value as well, maybe never higher. Package him up for some cap relief when trying to trade Campbell somewhere.
Is that on Holloway or McLeod? I've seen texts like that for both players.
Yeah, well, that's what he said. Holloway's trending in the same. Look, Holloway's just getting started. I think we know by now what Ryan McLeod is. And somebody said, if McLeod keeps playing this way at the end of his deal, just walk away from him. His deal is this year and next year. And I would say, if he is the player that he's been so far this year, and we're still having this discussion by the end of next year, then yes, I would agree that you could probably use that $2 million or whatever. Well, at this point, he won't be looking for a bump because when you produce absolutely nothing, you're not going to get more than $2.1 million. When you produce absolutely nothing, you probably shouldn't even be getting $2.1 million. Jay Corgi is in and says, the pop-up store gods don't want you to close the store. That's what it was.
That's what it was.
That's what ended up.
Cutting you off. Yeah.
That's what happened there. I like that. Morning, boys. You guys are performing like the Oil today. We need better. That's in from Oil Boots. A couple of hiccups along the way today, but I might need another coffee with cream to get through this day. Yeah. All right, let's get into the Cool Bet hotline of the day. No. What do you mean? No.
All the lines aren't up for the Oiler game.
Oh, the lines aren't up for the Oiler game yet?
They're the only game left that hasn't been done.
Like all the lines.
They're all slowly like
because it's late.
Because
it's late.
8:30.
Yeah, we're close,
Okay.
but it still doesn't have all of the bets yet for that game. So I'm gonna say let's wait.
Man, Mr. Lean, I'm like on a really tough week coming in like this. Unbelievable.
Well, if we want to build a parlay or something, we're gonna need to see what the line. We gotta.
You are such a degenerate.
So I'm on a cold streak right now. Okay, I need to get off of this, and I want to see all the proper numbers for tonight's game between Oilers and Sharks, so I could have the right lean.
Well, Pat Gregoire is going to be by around 8:20. I would assume by the time Pete Greggy joins us, the full slate of lines will be up.
It's been over the last 20 minutes or so.
The other ones have been added?
So
Okay.
we're close.
Man, you are really watching that Cool Bet site, eh?
Well, because I wanted to be prepared. And that's the last game, so it should be up soon. But we can't really do a Cool Bet hotline of the day if the game we want to talk about.
Well, no, because we're throwing a bunch of player props in on this one today.
So
I think we build the first ever Edmonton Sports Talk extravaganza, where it's like a 5 or 6 player prop game.
ESTE.
What can go wrong?
Nothing.
I don't think anything can go wrong in that situation. So I like that. We'll wait. That will be up pretty soon. We'll definitely get to it in the third hour of the show for sure. Calvin asks, how many years do you guys give a player to make a decision on them? I would assume 5 years max. 5 years max for sure. I think you can probably make a decision. I think you can probably make a decision on a guy 3 years. Is 3 years enough to make a decision on a guy? Guys, I wonder what injury kept him out of camp until the end. Surely must be affecting him because he's been invisible. No, I don't. So what injury for Ryan McLeod? Like, Ryan McLeod's skating relatively well. I think he's skating relatively well. So what else would be holding him back? I mean, outside of an injury that involved both of his hands not being available to use anymore. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'm giving him an excuse on the injury pass. Guys, the line won't be up until they declare their goalie. No, that's incorrect. That's not, no. The line is up. You can go bet it right now.
Yeah,
we're looking at player props.
Yeah, well, not all the other games have it right now, and Cool Bet has done this. They always in the morning put them up.
Yeah.
For any sport, it takes, they do it a certain amount of time beforehand, but they're not, all those props aren't going to happen at 11, 12 o'clock today. They're going to happen within this hour. They will all be up. It's just there's a lot on the NHL schedule tonight. There's a lot for them to build out. And the Oilers being the 8:30 game with the Sharks, they naturally get the last game to be filled out because they got to fill out everything else.
I got beef with that. They're not retiring like a Sharks number tonight. Hey, pushing that puck drop to like 9 or something like that. Hey, it's Patty Marleau night again or something like that.
Connor
right?
McDavid being on television out east starting at like 10:37 out east is the stupidest thing I've ever seen in
From
my
the
entire
SAP Center.
life. God, Gary Bettman, you are bad at your job. And by your job, I mean the commish that would call the shots on everything. Jen says, Dusty, can you please try a coffee with a little bit of cream and a splash of flavored creamer? Your choice. Coffee is delicious. You just need to find your flavor.
Well,
Listen,
I think you have.
Let's stop saying like coffee. Coffee is not delicious. Coffee is gross. This is why people add things to it. This is why my coffee today that I'm trying for the first time ever has like 80% Wayne Gretzky cream.
What do you put in your coffee?
Nothing.
What I
Black.
Nothing.
Love it black.
So you
taste.
You love the taste of it.
I do.
I enjoy the taste.
I don't trust either
Perks
of
me
you
up.
guys.
Wakes me up in the morning.
Why do I
Gets me
drink
going.
black coffee then? I could put cream
For the
in it every
energy.
day.
For the energy.
For the
stuff.
yes.
For the caffeine.
The caffeine. Yeah, I'm a caffeine
But I
addict.
could put
I'm
cream.
addicted.
Yeah.
But I could put cream in it to make it taste a little better if in your theory.
But
I
you
don't.
just said it tastes a little bit better.
I said in your theory. But for me, I don't. I drink it black. I enjoy it
but
black.
would it taste better with cream in it?
No, not to me. They taste both pretty good to me.
I don't just.
I will
I don't agree with
gladly
you.
drink. If I never had to put anything in my coffee again, I'd be sad that I can't put my Baileys in there or the Irish cream, but I could drink it black for the rest of my life. No problem.
I finished.
I just want the
I finished
alcohol.
my mug of cream. Can you go pour me black coffee?
Another oh.
Go. Your mic's off again. Go pour me a black coffee.
Okay. Pat Gregoire, by the way, says, good job holding off.
Yeah.
Should be up in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
See?
So we'll probably save it to the third hour of the show because we got beef.
Get some beef,
We
yeah.
got Rappaport coming up. Black. I want to see the buzz here around this. He's gonna.
Well, you need it clear. You need it cleansed. You don't need any taste of that Wayne's cream. Holding over to that. I would have liked you to have the black coffee before. Kind of tasted that, but
Well, no. Now I know what it can taste like with Gretzky cream in it.
yeah.
I have to see this black coffee thing.
You're
because-
gonna spit it back just like you did with the Gretzky cream. Go iced coffee, Dusty. Can't drink hot coffee, but iced coffee with a little sugar is Splenda. Might get your taste buds intrigued. A little
Splenda.
Splenda.
Is that the stupid little pack?
I'm
This
okay.
little- Thanks for offering to everybody, Matty. That's nice of you. All right, let's get to a sports update for Park Mazda. We'll come back with I Got Beef, and boy, do I got beef. We'll get into that, but sports update for Park Mazda coming your way right now if you're listening at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on the TuneIn app as well, and, of course, here inside the Nasty Chat on YouTube.
Coffee's hot. Is it just a little splash? Oilers and Sharks tonight down at the SAP Center. San Jose, one of 11 games around the NHL this evening. You can join Tom Gazzola for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows. Coverage begins at 6:30 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Just 3 games last night. Panthers over the Caps 4-3 in overtime. Leafs doubled up by Ottawa 6-3, and the Kings pick up their 7th straight road win 4-1 down in Vegas. Week 10 in the NFL kicks off tonight from Chicago. You can join me for this one at the Centric Casino Sports Bar Lounge when the Bears take on the Panthers. It'll be your next shot to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to Los Angeles to catch the Rams and Browns. Also, smoked brisket cheesesteaks on special, $9.99 throughout the evening. And, of course, Oilers and Sharks will be on the big screens as well. Pascal Siakam, 31 points. Raps handed the Mavs their first home loss of the season, 127-116. Raptors will visit Boston on Saturday. Sports update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki. Mitch used to jog, but the ice cubes kept falling out of his glass.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki with like a giant eagle's wings and singing lead vocals for Leonard Skinner with like an angel band. And I'm in the crowd hammered drunk.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
Time for I Got Beef. Brought to you by Corey the Butcher at Acme Meat Market. What do you have beef with? Text 780-218-9999. I Got Beef on Edmonton Sports Talk.
I Got Beef on Edmonton Sports Talk. That's what we're going to get into right now. What do you have beef with? 780-218-9999. I got beef with Maddie killing the stream a little bit earlier on today.
Well,
just at the request of a listener.
Yes.
Like, imagine if a listener comes in and says, hey, guys, can you just shut down your YouTube channel for a second? Belineski asked in the Nasty Chat earlier, he was like, Maddie, I got to run upstairs and get some socks. Do you mind killing the stream right now?
He can't resist. He can't resist. He'll take a dare, any dare.
It's too
Trev
good.
just rubbed my shoulders and, oh, you're okay.
YouTube Trev just rubbed your shoulders. It's all right,
like
buddy.
a patting on the back.
Somebody asked earlier, they're like, hey, when does YouTube Trev get promoted? Well, he's working with Maddie, and look at Trev's just shaking his head right now. He does not want any
Here's
piece
the thing,
of the
Trev,
morning show. Like,
you can't do worse than shutting off the stream.
Yeah, that's a
And
good point.
I just did.
Yeah.
Look, we have the ability to do it. I knew we did. I get excited about trying new things. The guy tempted me perfectly.
Yeah, but maybe
And I
not
got
during
all
the
in.
live show, you know?
There's
Like,
no other time I could do it.
we
then.
can run a test stream later on tonight, make it private, and then mix
But
it
then
in.
I need comments on there to show it up. And if it's private, we have no comments.
We
Like,
could get a few nasties
there
to just
was-
pop in.
well,
Like, we
so-
could literally put up a video tonight and just be like, test stream, and
Look.
people be in and be like, this is amazing.
here's our internet shouldn't have just shut down like that. And whenever we've had that, it's always come back, and it didn't come back. So, no, that was a fair test. I stand by that test. And if
how can you stand by that test?
I stand
you
by
you
it.
tested something that shut down the whole show. You can't stand by that test.
Hindsight 2020, I still would have done that again. I
What?
still would have tried that again. 100%.
So tomorrow on the show, if I say, hey, Matt, there's something new we could try, but it's probably going to shut down the stream, you try it again?
He can't
You're not
resist.
a listener.
He can't resist.
I
my
care
goodness.
about our listeners.
Oh.
I want to make sure our listeners have a better experience.
Listen to
And when
this
they have
guy.
ideas of like, hey, this might be better for the show. I want to try to execute it because I want them to be happy.
You want our show to be even better.
Exactly.
I think given the Mr. Lean slump, you just wanted to feel something again, did you?
No,
like
let's
you
not
just
go
wanted
there.
a rush, any sort of way.
Patty did text and says, who needs to win more, the Oilers or Mr. Lean?
I think it's pretty clear today. If the Oilers end up losing to the Sharks tonight, it'll be known as the Mr. Lean game because it's been the same way since we started the show earlier this morning. All right, let's get to I Got Beef. What do you got beef with? 780-218-9999. This guy's already in and says, I've got an ongoing beef with obnoxiously bright LED lights on vehicles. WTF, people.
That's got to. I'm this close to taking a bat and smashing those out whenever you see it. That's a hazard. It's not just a beef, it's a hazard. I got hazards.
I'm going to drink this coffee right now.
Slam it down and then tell us what you got beef
Eat
with.
fresh, eat local, eat Acme. Acme Meat, serving Edmonton for over 100 years. Go in and see Corey the Butcher, who I really like the idea of like 15 years from now being revealed that Corey the Butcher is actually a secret serial killer. And we were just promoting him for a decade on the show. Like,
Oh, he's got that smile. Hey,
remember when Corey the Butcher used to be one of our buddies?
Great guy.
Turns out he murdered 76 people in the
Blood
area.
was a giveaway. It's just you didn't know.
Visit them 9570 76th Ave. Eat fresh, eat local, eat Acme. All right, here we go. This is just black coffee. This is going to be the grossest thing in my life.
Don't shoot it like it's probably hot. Yeah.
He doesn't mind it.
Yeah. I've
He
seen
doesn't
worse,
mind it.
Seen worse faces.
He doesn't mind it.
The smoked oysters was a. This isn't smoked oyster territory. Look at he's jittery.
That's not
and
as
everything.
bad as I thought.
You shake it. Hold your hand.
It
out.
does. I am
He doesn't
shaking.
like-
This
for
is
some
what
reason-
happens when you have a sip of coffee.
He doesn't like the combination of the two so much. He liked the Gretzky yesterday by itself. He likes the coffee by itself right now. He didn't like them together for
The
some
mix.
reason.
You don't like the mix, eh? Look at him.
I will say this. It kind of takes me back to some of the stouts that we've had. I now understand why it would, like from a beer perspective.
Yes.
Boy, it tastes better than it smells. I guess I've always avoided it because of the smell. The smell of coffee is gross.
I love how the coffee's reminding you of beer, though. Like,
Coffee
kind
is
of
like
should be
one of
the
the
other way around.
greatest smells there is.
No, it's a disgusting smell.
Freshly
not even a
brewed
fresh
cup
brewed
of
pot.
coffee.
Fresh pots.
No, I don't think I love it enough to like drink it every morning, but I don't hate it. So that's something, I guess. All right, what do you have beef with? What do you have beef with? I'll get my beef's going to take up the rest of the show. So
no,
what do you
I
have
mean
beef
I
with?
have beef with the LED lights as well. They're terrible. It's look, I'm driving twice a week at Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. I'll be there tonight for the Panthers and Bears as well as Oilers and Sharks. But driving during the night with those LED lights suck. It's a hazard. I don't know how it's street legal. Get him out of here, please.
Jenna says, I got beef with McDonald's being out of sausage and asking if ham is a suitable replacement. Yeah, that would be a weird take. Hey, that's I would definitely have beef with that. And that works out well because that's a meat reference, which really works. All right, so here's my beef. I said it's an all-time beef. I still can't believe this happened. Let it be known at this very moment. I love my wife very much. It's not going to ruin our marriage. I am doing Zoom calls with the BC Lions yesterday afternoon. And I come upstairs. The kids just got home from school, so I come upstairs to see them. And my wife is very emotional. And I'm like, what happened? Like, it was like, I thought somebody died. I was like, what's going on? Like, what happened right now? And she's like, I screwed up. She backed her 2009 RAV4
With the rusted wheels.
out of the garage directly into the front of my brand new truck. I was like, she goes, I hit the truck. I was like, how'd you hit the truck? You're backing out of the garage.
Pretty big.
The truck's in the driveway. And so I immediately go outside, and the front right corner of my new truck, there's like some red. There was like, it was scuffed up. I managed to rub a lot of the scuffs off. there's a little bit of red paint on it that I couldn't get off. The back left corner of her RAV4, which we're basically done with anyway, is completely ruined. And I'm like, how did you back in to our own vehicle? Biggest beef I ever had in my entire life.
Would you just gas it?
Well, I said to her last night, I said, how fast are you going? And you totaled the back end corner of your RAV.
It's like Batman.
And now, I think the truck seems to be okay. Like, if you were to go look at it right now, you wouldn't know it's a big truck. There's a little bit of red paint on the front right corner, but there's no dents. There's no scrapes. Looks like there's just a little bit of red paint there. But how do you back in to your significant other's vehicle in your own driveway?
Do you know what happened here? There's two parts to this.
I don't know if we should listen to anything you have to say today because you ruined the show.
So one, she wanted your truck.
She does love driving it. I took away her driving privileges yesterday. I said, you're done for 2 months.
Number two, this is her way of getting a new vehicle.
Clever ploy.
That's the attempt. It's that she wants the truck or something, and she wants a new vehicle type thing. So this is she's trying either get the truck or get her a new vehicle type thing. Oh, the car is broken. I ruined it. And that's what I'm thinking is at play here.
Well, no, but here's the thing. Her and the kids today are going down to Cranbrook to bring back my mom's Trailblazer to drive for the winter because the RAV4 was done. And I was like, are we going to get another new vehicle or should we just use my mom's for a while? So we're just going to use HR Mommy's Trailblazer until we get a new vehicle in the spring. So, she hasn't hit anything in 25 years of driving. She's never been in an accident of any type. She's a very conserved driver.
Where was she going? Where was the fire?
She was just going to pick the kids up from school.
Was she late?
I said, well, how did you hit the truck? And now, I will a little bit of in defense. I parked the truck as per her request. This is not me, but I parked the truck at the back of the driveway on the left side. Our driveway is huge. You can fit 4 cars in the driveway. So I parked the truck because we've got a tree on the right, and we're like, well, we don't want the tree to scratch up the truck. So I parked the truck at the back. Oh, how funny is that? We don't want the tree to scratch up the truck. Yeah. Instead, we're going to back another vehicle into it. So the truck's sitting on the back left side of the driveway. She's parked inside the garage on the left side. So to come out, but there's more than enough room. She would come out, she would turn this way, and then go back by it. But she backed back left side of her vehicle into the front right side. I said, how did you not look in the rearview mirror and see the truck? And she said she was just distracted. She wasn't on her phone. I said, were you on your phone? And then she said she was looking out the right side mirror to make sure she didn't drive on the grass and into the tree on the right side of the driveway. And then bang into the front right side of the truck.
I do love how a little bit of this rusted out wheel RAV4 will be part of you now. The little bit of that paint, a little reminder. Every time you see
carry on a
that
little
old
bit of red
rust
there.
bucket piece of crap. Now you're gonna be reminded that every time you see it now. That's
I've waited my entire life to get a new black pickup truck.
Yeah,
and we've had it for a week.
Yeah, and
she drove our own vehicle into it. So, like I said, I love her very much. I didn't even really get mad. I instantly thought, come on, you're messing with me. You're messing with me. Then secondly, I thought, this is going to make a great I Got Beef. And then I went out to check the truck. I was like, it's not the end of the world. It's not like anything cracked.
You know what?
But then I went back inside and I told her, I said, look, mistakes happen. It's not the end of the world. She was obviously rattled.
Well, nobody did, in fact, die, as you initially thought, given the response. But props to Tammy for committing to the bit. I love it.
This text is in and says, this is crazy. We bought a new truck about 3 years ago, and within the first week of owning it, my wife backed our RAV4 into it as she was leaving our house. Are you kidding me?
It's a time travel.
That's insane. How does that happen to somebody else?
It's like that show Bodies.
Strummy's in and says, I got free-range beef with parking on driveways and driving on parkways, as well as something by ship called cargo and something by cars called a shipment. Yeah, that's a good point. Anyway, how about that, eh? Like I said, if you were to go look at it right now, you wouldn't be like, hey, this was in an accident.
Joel
But
Spence
it screwed up hers. There was red paint chips all over the driveway. I don't know how fast she was going coming out of the driveway.
Joel Spence says 9 out of 10 auto accidents happen within 100 meters of your home. So you fit well
Do they
within
happen
the
with both of your
statistic.
vehicles, though?
Well, I don't
in
know
your
about
own
that.
driveway? To be honest with you, part of me wishes I could have seen it. But
I like how you're not alone. She'll appreciate the other texter chiming in with the exact same story, I think. Maybe ease the pain a bit for her.
This text is in and says, I got beef with Thursday Night Football rolling out the bloody Bears and Panthers. Al Michaels might just quit tonight.
Smoked brisket cheesesteaks tonight. Century Casino
Join
Sports Bar
Lieutenant
Lounge.
Eric, Century Casino
Smoked
Sports
brisket
Bar
cheesesteak.
and Lounge. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. We're going to get to Ian Rappaport, who is brought to you by our great partners at the Sports Bar and Lounge at Century Casino on Fort Road. Join Lieutenant Eric tonight for that game. Oilers game will be on at 8 o'clock as well. Let's bring in Ian Rappaport here this morning. Rap Sheet, good morning. How you doing, man?
What's going on? How you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing all right. We were just talking in the last segment. I just got a brand new pickup truck, and my wife backed her vehicle into it coming out of the garage yesterday. Has that ever happened to you before?
If that were me, I guess the main question is, how are you to blame? Like, did you park it in the wrong place, or like, how is this going to end up being your fault would be my main question.
You know, that was the big thing yesterday, is that I was waiting for that twist, but it was such a blatant error on her part that I didn't even get in trouble for anything I did. So at that moment, I was just like...
See, in my world, that doesn't actually matter. It's really just like, why would you park it there? Yeah. Like that just, The actual blame is sort of like irrelevant.
I wasn't expecting it to be there. This is on you. I mean, that could have been a twist that just didn't play out for us yesterday. So, yeah, we're dealing with that today. Anything to, I guess, not get overly excited for the Panthers and Bears, which is happening tonight. What's the status of Justin Fields? Let's start there.
Justin Fields not going to play tonight, officially listed as doubtful, which I would say is, sort of like a mild surprise. I thought there was at least a chance he was going to play. But once he wasn't a full participant on Monday, then you kind of change your calculus a little bit, because you'd like a guy to get a full, actual week of practice and not be limited. And if he couldn't, sort of grip a football like he needs to, then, on Monday, then it's like, all right, is he really going to get better? Like 2 days from now, it's just time frame wise, it's so challenging. So, no Justin Fields. I expect him to be back next week. It means he'll have missed 4 games, which is probably one more than people anticipated, but still nothing terrible. Tyson Bagent has been okay, fine. So the Bears will play tonight, then they'll get their starting quarterback back.
What's the vibe around the other side of this game tonight from the Carolina Panthers, who go out, use the first overall pick on a quarterback, finally picked up a dub, got into the win column here? Is there a sense of it's going to be slow here for the Panthers anyway, or is there a sense of disappointment in how things have started?
Well, I think there's two things. One, when you sort of not start over, but when you take a rookie quarterback, there is a sense of he's going to have to learn. They don't all. I think that's the main issue is you look in Houston and it's not like the Texans have a bunch of world beaters, but their quarterback has looked at times very, very good. Sometimes good, sometimes very, very good. And then you look across in Carolina and you sort of haven't seen evidence of that progress. So that's, it's not concerning, but it's just a different way that it's been done. And we've seen it both ways. I mean, both Mannings struggled mightily when they came into the game, and then both ended up obviously as great quarterbacks. So it's not like it's be all and end all. It's odd, and I think in Carolina you'd like to see a little bit of progress this year. Not it doesn't need to be a ton, just a little bit.
Do you think the patience that teams have for quarterbacks has been dialed back a little bit over the last 3, 4, 5, 6 years, as opposed to when the Mannings and some of those other all-time greats came into the game?
Yeah, see, it's tough for me to know because people talk now we need to have more patience, and it's not like it used to be. But when Eli would go out and throw 4 interceptions after benching Kurt Warner, was everybody like, "Oh, it's okay, he just needs to learn"? I don't know. Was everyone just real relaxed back then? That seems kind of fake. I think it's more revisionist history than anything else. If a team is bad and not playing well and losing, and the rookie quarterback is not playing well, who is fine? Who is kind of don't worry about it, we're good. So I don't know. I mean, my guess is they were frustrated then too. Maybe they dealt with it better, but I would have some questions about that as well.
Ian, 49ers, they're visiting the Jaguars this week. They've lost 3 in a row. They're all important games, obviously, during a season like this, but do you see things ending for the 49ers here, or how worse can it get before it gets better for San Francisco fans?
Well, I mean, the hope is that this is kind of when they turned around and went out and got Chase Young for a third-round pick. And I think the hope is that helps some. They moved Steve Wilkes, their defensive coordinator, from the coaching box to the sideline, hoping, that eases communication and makes things a little better. We'll see if that ends up working. Who knows? But, I think for the 49ers, what people have done to their defense is at least noteworthy. Like, at least people have been paying attention. I don't know if they can turn it around, but, you can only be considered one of the NFL's elite teams for so long without actually doing it. So I think at some point they need to do it. And this would be a pretty good time to do it. They get Deebo Samuel back. He's going to be healthy. He's going to play. That helps. So we'll see if it's this week.
NFL insider Ian Rappaport with us here on the Nielson Show this morning. The Arizona Cardinals are 1-8. They were shut out last week. Not saying that Kyler Murray is going to save the day, but what are fair expectations for him getting back on the field here?
I don't know if he's going to save the day or not, but they become a little more interesting. And I think for a lot of reasons. One, I don't know what's going to happen this offseason for Kyler Murray. But I would say, do they trade him or not is one of the biggest storylines of the offseason. How they handle it and all of that. And I don't know the answer to that, but if Kyler Murray goes out and plays great, then is that better or worse? Does that mean his trade market is better? Does that mean they have a franchise quarterback? They have a lot of decisions to make, and, obviously there's a chance that they have a really, really high pick. I think that will, potentially alter some things. But yeah, I mean, Kyler actually going out and playing is a major, major storyline in the NFL.
New York Giants are 2-7 to start the year. They've lost their quarterback for the rest of the season. Full-blown tank time for the Giants at this point?
Or Tommy DeVito time.
Or is it Tommy DeVito time?
I mean, it's, I would say both. Tanking to me is not a thing that's real. NFL teams do not tank. They traded Leonard Williams. They got a really good deal and ended up taking a second-round pick. To me, that's really, really significant. That will help them build this roster. They're going to try their best to win, but they have a third-string quarterback who is an undrafted free agent who, let's just be real, doesn't really deserve to be a starting quarterback. So, they're going to try their best, but I think the results are probably going to be the same. And if you're the Giants, you hate to go through a season, but this is how you build. I mean, this is really how you win is you beat terrible one year, you get a great quarterback, and then you're good for the next 15 years if you hit it properly. I mean, that's what the Buffalo Bills did as well, and I think it's something that, certainly ended up benefiting them for the next 10 years.
What do we expect from Carson Wentz this time around as he gets another crack at it?
Hopefully nothing. Hopefully he doesn't play because then, the goal is to have Matthew Stafford just play and be good, and that's it. I expect Stafford back next week. I expect Wentz to come in and be the backup. Backups, sometimes play, but not always. So hopefully he doesn't. I'm going to be really curious if he does, though, because, we saw last year Baker Mayfield was cut, discarded. Yep. It was over. And then he went to Sean McVay. He resurrected himself. And now he's a starting quarterback in the NFL again. That's a thing. And I wonder how much Sean McVay had to do with that. Maybe some. I would say definitely some. So can Carson Wentz be the next? Can McVay help him, fix him? What could be done in a short amount of time? And there's a lot of really good questions. And, I think Carson Wentz kind of fell out of the limelight a little bit. But now he's back, and I think, all of a sudden it becomes kind of interesting.
Maybe earlier on in the season, you'd say a home game against the Broncos is something that will cure whatever ails you. But the Bills right now, Ian, 5-4, coming off last week's loss to the Bengals. They're 4-1 at home. But I know the beatdown of the Dolphins is fairly convincing. A few other games, maybe not. Bills get back on track with this one? Should Buffalo fans be at all in any way, shape, or form concerned with the Denver Broncos rolling into town and sitting at 3-5 and winners of 2 straight?
Yeah, I think they could be concerned. I mean, because the Broncos aren't good, but they're not sort of the disaster that they were early in the year. It's not like they're giving up 70 points and no one can tackle anyone. And Russell Wilson is terrible. Russell Wilson is not really terrible. He's not. He's okay.
Yeah.
He's not kind of what you'd hoped, but he's not a disaster anymore. And I think that's a big deal because at least they go into games with a chance to win, just with a chance. And that's promising. So, I think for the Bills, offensively, there's been some questions. Ken Dorsey's under fire a little bit, their offensive coordinator. I think, the defense is starting to show some cracks. Sean McDermott is now doing the defense and, moved on from Leslie Frazier and I would think it's fair to say has kind of not quite been the same. So at some point, right now the Bills would not be in the playoffs if the playoffs started. That's pretty bad. That's, much different from where they have been. So at some point they need to get better and to kind of fix this. This is as good a chance as any, but it's, not a situation where they get to just roll into the game. The Broncos are terrible and they can just have an easy win. It's not really like that this week.
Rapture, we can't let you go before we get an update for all the fantasy folks out there on Justin Jefferson being back at practice. What's the timeline?
Yeah, pretty significant development yesterday. Back at practice. Probably not going to play this week. It seems like a stretch. My guess is next week is when Justin Jefferson plays, which is good. He missed 5 weeks for the hamstring. It was a pretty moderate hamstring strain, so not nothing, not catastrophic, no surgery, obviously. I would say get him back next week, move forward from there. And, when he left, the team was a disaster.
Yeah.
When he comes back, the team's pretty good. I think that's a pretty cool development in itself.
Certainly helped Dobbs, too, to have a weapon like him back as well as they try to make a push to finding a playoff spot as well. As always, Ian, really appreciate the time, man. We'll catch up next week.
Thanks, Ian.
All right, thanks, guys. Take care.
There you go. That's Ian Rappaport, one of the best NFL insiders in the business, and he joins us every single Thursday at 7:45. Tell your NFL friends that Ian Rappaport is on a sports station right here in Edmonton, and that is Edmonton Sports Talk, brought to you by the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, where you can join Lieutenant Eric tonight for this game. Oilers game will be on as well. Mind you, the Oilers game almost doesn't start until this one's over. There's only be like a period of overlap, and that's
8:30, right? And maybe if there's any pregame or whatever stuff. But yeah, it's kind of a nice little, you can kind of, and again, the ponies are on throughout the night, so there's always that during commercial breaks, and the Caliente Greyhounds are right around the corner.
Let's get into your Thursday Night Football challenge. Carolina Panthers, Chicago Bears. The Panthers plus 3.5 underdogs on the road tonight against the Chicago Bears. You heard him say Justin Fields will not be playing tonight. He will be back for next week is what they are hoping. When Justin Fields comes back, I mean, it's a hand thing, so his legs, which are very, very, very valuable to him, should help. I don't mind him as a fantasy football league winner down the stretch if he can end up staying healthy. How you play right now, though, is you would text, if you like the Panthers on the road tonight, plus 3.5, you would text Panthers to the inbox right now, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you like the Bears minus the 3.5 at home, you text Bears to the inbox at 780-218-9999. If you get it correct, you go into a draw tomorrow morning. We draw one of your names. You win a gift certificate to the Sports Bar and Lounge on Century Road, or on Fort Road with Century Casino. Lieutenant Eric, are you siding with the Bears minus 3.5 tonight, or are you going to go with the Panthers on the road?
I hate to do this to our boy Will Fraser, but take the...
Are you going to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
Panthers is a road dog. My God.
I'm going to do it.
I love when he does that.
Oh, you didn't know? You better call somebody.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, D-Generation X proudly brings to you its 6-time WWE Tag Team Champions of the World, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, the Badass Billy Gunn, the New Age Outlaws.
I love when he does
Dude, it has been a while since you went road dog on us.
I know, I'm loving it.
I love it. By the way, all the odds are up for
Flip
the
a
Oilers
coin,
game
eh?
now, too. So we'll get to that in hour number 3. P. Greggy's going to pop by. Orange and Blue Breakfast. 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia. Hour number 3 is going to be completely jam-packed here on the Nielson Show this morning as we get you set for the Oilers and the San Jose Sharks. D. White is in and says, our defense is the exact same as last year that went 14-0-1 in March and April. Fingers crossed, Campbell going down to be the TSN turning point for the Oilers. Which, I mean...
It did happen.
Yeah, but I don't understand how Campbell going down makes Stuart Skinner better. You know, Stuart Skinner has a worse save percentage than Jack Campbell. How does Jack Campbell going down make the Oilers all of a sudden start to defend better? Maybe it's a turning point in the season because it's a reality check.
Yeah.
But if you think all of a sudden the Oilers are going to look better defensively because Jack Campbell is in the minors, I think you're nuts.
They're doing it for soup.
That's
Do it
what.
for
Let's
soup.
go win one.
Do it for soup.
Let's go win one for
Yeah,
soup.
they'll all kiss a can prior to the.
Why couldn't they do
pregame
that when he
there.
was here?
Nah.
When he was in their bloody net? I don't know. I'm still not too sure that they've changed anything of significance. And don't come in all hot here tomorrow morning and see Dusty, they beat the Sharks 8-1. This is the reason. Jack Campbell's in the minors now. That's not it.
We've talked about goaltending over the years, and you've always went back to the team defense, and that still hasn't been changed. So,
yes.
I mean, again, I know it's the Sharks, but to your point, I don't know what difference you're expecting tonight, really, in the makeup and mistakes too. I mean, if you're not eliminating mistakes and the team defense is still as it is,
the Oilers belong where they are right now. Like if you watch Oilers games this year, they belong at the bottom of the league. When you watch the Kings and Golden Knights last night, you think the Oilers are going to go skate with those teams right now? No chance.
And the difference from that record ending the season last, which did happen, and those are real numbers, is that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl were into 2 or 3 pages down the NHL scoring list.
Yeah.
That
yeah, the Oilers also went 14-0-1 down the stretch last year because Connor McDavid was putting up like over 2 points per game, and this year he's 60th in the league in scoring.
How many guys over 10 goals in your depth positions, right? Like
the whole
You're
group,
not seeing either. If you saw one of those two things happening, maybe, but
the whole bottom 6 is not even on pace to combine for 10 goals this year. But yeah,
Those are
sending
two big
down
things.
Jack
Yeah.
Campbell is going to turn the season around. There's a lot of other things that should turn the season around before Pickard's sitting on the bench instead of Campbell. It just doesn't make sense to me. But hey, if you want to chime in on it, that's why we're here. We love these conversations. We love your opinions. Even if we disagree with them, we love that you have them. So hit us up in the nasty chat or at 780-218-9999. Continue to get you ready for the massive 4-point game tonight between the 1-win San Jose Sharks and the 2-win Edmonton Oilers. Let's get to a sports update for United Sport and Cycle right now.
Well, as Dusty mentioned, Oilers and Sharks tonight down in San Jose. One of 11 games around the NHL. We'll get you set right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. You can join Tom Gazzola for the Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tonight. Coverage beginning at 6:30 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk.com. Last night, Cam Talbot, 37 saves. Kings over Vegas, 4-1. Leafs doubled up by Ottawa, 6-3. And Sam Reinhart scoring the overtime winner, leading Florida over Washington, 4-3. Also tonight, Week 10 of the NFL kicking off from Chicago. You can join me for this one. And the Oilers and Sharks, Bears and Panthers at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Centric Casino Fort Road. It'll be your next chance to qualify into a draw for a trip for 2 to LA to catch the Rams and Browns. Also, $9.99 smoked brisket cheesesteaks on special throughout the night. Over to the NBA, where the Raptors picked up another road win, handing Dallas its first home loss of the season, 127-116. The Raps will visit Boston Saturday. Boston falling last night to the 76ers, 106-103. Sports update for United Sport and Cycle, supporting hockey in your community for over 95 years.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.803 with the AM Nasty. Thank you very much for being here today. Hey, I guess I didn't throw it out. Need somebody to play kind of easy trivia right now. Give us a text. Fire us a text right now. We need somebody to come in and play right now. 780-218-9999 if you would like to win a gift card to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever. A great place for lunch and a great place for dinner. And if you want to have like a late lunch, what do they call it, a lupper? If you want to have a lupper,
I don't mind a lupper.
It's also a great place for that, like somewhere between 3 and 4.
That's all Will Fraser eats nowadays.
That's his whole
3
window.
to 3 to 8. He's all about. He's a lupper man.
780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. If you'd like to play right now, just text in to YouTube Trav Maddie, and they will pick one of you. Just let us know, hey, pick me, Mr. Mike's, give me that GC, whatever you want to do. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Guys, can I play on the nasty chat from Thailand? Oh, he's still listening in Thailand. That's it's going to be weird when we try to go mark the map again and Thailand's already checked off. Like, we can only ever have one person watching or listening in Thailand. That's a rule.
I like how we just become big and like it's a Thailand thing now.
Yeah, huge. Yeah. The biggest Edmonton sports show in all of Thailand is the Nielsen Show on Edmonton Sports.
And Western Africa. They go nuts over there.
If you want to play Kind of Easy Trivia, if you're listening on TuneIn right now or to EdmontonSportsTalk.com, or you're in the nasty chat and you just want to give us a call, 780-218-9999. Who doesn't want to get their hands on a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual? Smitty the Welder's in and says, if Skinner starts, the Oilers will lose. I disagree, Smitty. I think the Oilers win no matter what tonight. And most people think Pickard should start. You know, if you're going to make this change, Campbell down and Pickard up, I do think I lean towards giving Pickard the start. But Gazdick was on earlier this morning, and he said, you know, this is Stuart Skinner's team now.
Yeah.
And you send the message to Stuart Skinner that, hey, Jack Campbell's gone, but you're still our guy, so you get the net tonight. I can see the starting goaltender being justified either way.
And Pickard, a former Seattle Thunderbird, you give him the start when they play the Kraken, you know, rounding out this road trip.
I mean, if you really wanted to.
That's why this has all been done.
If Skinner plays well tonight, and I know it would just be the Sharks, and that's how we would view it, but if Skinner plays well tonight, just roll him back in the net again.
Well, no, and it is just the Sharks, but as you mentioned as well, you need to get him up to speed, and a win is a win is a win. So getting him in there and getting some good reps and a chance to feel positive about his game, it'll be good. You don't read too much into it because it's the Sharks, but for him, yeah. It's
just quite the drug to be on, to think a goaltender that's been basically buried in the minors for the last 5 years is going to be the thing that turns around your season. Like, I just...
Well, and as Ben chimed in at 780-218-9999, perhaps it's part of a bigger plan, Dusty. Huh? No?
I don't think so. I can't.
He's trying.
I can't buy into that theory. All right, who's playing Kind of Easy Trivia today? Who do we got here?
We have got Travis.
Travis is going to play today. He needs to get 3 out of 5 correct. Let's bring in Travis this morning, trying to get his hands on that gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. As I mentioned, the casualest place ever, even a casual location. Attached to a hotel, you can't go wrong. 137th Ave and the corner of Mark Messier Trail in the Hampton Inn there. Brand new location out in Fort Sask as well, as Mr. Mike's continues to take over the world on the strength of the sirloin bites and the classic Mike burger. All right, Travis, you ready to play, bud?
You betcha.
All right. Oh, your phone sounds great today. This is a great phone connection, buddy.
Perfect.
Yeah. All right, I'll start the ticker after read the first question. Good luck, dude. Here we go. Who do the Oilers play tonight?
Sharks.
Which team has more wins this season, Edmonton or San Jose?
Edmonton.
Name one player on the Sharks.
Hurdle.
Which city is home to the NFL's Bears?
Chicago.
What position does the injured Justin Fields play?
Quarterback.
Boom. 5 out of 5.
Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am. Get it right.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal the show.
That's happening.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Ooh, you better believe that's happening.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's happening.
The first year, we took it to the limit.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Congratulations to Travis, 5 for 5 on this wonderful game day morning, Oilers and San Jose Sharks tonight. Also, kudos to him for being able to name a San Jose Shark. We'll get into their projected lineup a little bit later on the show today.
Good job, Trav.
Yeah, he's off to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. First, he'll get to swing by the office, pick up the gift certificate. Our office hours are basically for you to pop by from like 9 to about 1:30-ish, 2 at the latest. And then we're off planning to make Edmonton Sports Talk bigger and better.
Yeah, you can just walk on in as well. You don't have to knock, as illustrated by a lady yesterday coming to pick up a prize, and she was on the phone, and she just walked in.
Oh, is that when I was doing like lock shop and stuff?
Yeah, and then Maddie said hello, and she gave him the finger. She said, no, hold on.
Oh, she was on the phone.
But I didn't know what she was.
I think my favorite thing was we had a random courier drop by the other day to drop something off.
That was weird, too.
And this was wild because this guy comes in, and he comes in, and he's got a package. It was like a letter. It almost seemed like somebody was being summoned to court. And so he comes in, and he looks, and he asks Eric right away. He goes, so what's this Edmonton Sports Talk? And Eric is just like, oh, something that we started. And he goes, yeah, man. He goes, it was really tough when those guys at 1260 got taken off the air. And Eric and I are sitting here, and we're like, we're those guys.
There's an Abbott and Costello routine here. You kind of, what?
It was really weird when he's like, oh, man, I really missed that 1260 morning show. We're standing there right with him. We're like,
hi.
It's us, dude.
Yeah.
So hopefully he got the TuneIn app, and he's listening along.
And then you got served.
Hey, Dusty, how did you pronounce courier? I think, what did I say? Did I say courier or whatever? Courier.
Is that what you do?
say, and then we got served?
Yeah, he served you the papers after
Surprise.
It's a hell of a way to serve somebody. I don't know what's going on. Who are you? Oh, yeah, you're served.
Oh, yeah, here. It's
Bing,
you.
bang, yeah.
Yeah, that would have sucked the big one.
Because then you identify yourself, and that's the whole, the guy.
The real trickster.
Oh, yeah.
Real trickster, that
you got to
guy.
be inventive, right? In that,
yeah. All right, Pat Gregor is going to pop by. P. Greg will be by in about 10 minutes. We will give you our Cool Bet hotline of the day after we chat with Pat Gregoire, who, as a Toronto Maple Leafs fan, that's going to be a hilarious conversation. I cannot wait. They've lost. It's weird how Edmonton and Toronto, both teams with Stanley Cup aspirations, and Toronto's not struggling as much as Edmonton, but they've lost 5 of their last 6.
To what they think should be happening, yeah, that's not a dream start either for them. So at least you don't get that crowing out there that.
And then an orange and blue breakfast on the way from Mobile One and Blue Water Lubricants. We'll set up the game tonight. Projected lineups for both clubs. Who's not tough enough to play tonight? Lieutenant Eric's key to the game and my game day prediction. That's all on the way. The wrap for William Huff still to come. If you are listening on TuneIn, tell your friends how easy it is. And they, too, can download the free app and just listen to the show static-free every single day. It's nice to be free of the static that we once had over at 1260. And, of course, you can hit us up in the nasty chat as well. All right, let's get into 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segments?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who's rethinking his idea to have an NFL watch party at the dealership tonight with the entire staff, being it is the Panthers and Bears. But, if any of the staff want to ditch that party and join me, I'll be at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino Fort Road, $9.99 smoked brisket cheese steaks.
Are you only allowed to get the cheesesteak if you're watching the football game, or can you also get it for the hockey?
You have to be in the sports lounge because right next door in the restaurant they have the prime rib night, which get in line right now. It might be comparing the line that you had in your dream with Wayne Sports Cards. But anybody from Park Mazda that comes down tonight, any staff, I will get you the smoked brisket cheesesteak so that you don't have to watch the game with Mitch down
Look
at
at
the
this guy just making it rain. Smoked briskies.
You prove you're from Park Mazda, sales associate, whatever, your janitor, whatever the case is.
Hi, I'm Mitch. What?
That'd be great.
That would be incredible.
I'd take one down with him.
That would be absolutely incredible. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. Our station as well, at YEG Sports Talk, YEG Sports Talk. That's Edmonton Sports Talk. You can follow us on there as well.
All right, let's get into it. Question number 1. I love this. I love this theory. Came in the Paris Jewelers inbox earlier today, 780-218-9999, as we like to say, pound the box. Do you guys think McLeod getting the bump up to the top line is for nothing more than showcase purposes? Ooh.
Well, and this goes into Ben's text as well with the Campbell down, picker it up thing. Is this all, Dusty? Is all of this crystallizing into one big play here? A big package, a big move, a big deal? Huh? It's the fun way of thinking about all this in terms of the record and everything. But
I do love the theory from a listener of November 9th, the Ryan McLeod showcase.
Yeah.
which is really a fascinating theory because what are you trying to showcase? That he can't produce with maybe the best player in the league either? Like, that's a tough look on the showcase. I think they just mostly want to run 3 guys down the middle that can actually have a significant contribution, and they basically don't have another spot for Ryan McLeod, so by default, he gets to play with Connor McDavid. Now,
that's pretty much it.
He still has no interest in being involved physically, but I thought he was around it a little bit more last game than he had been prior to the season. So if Ryan McLeod buries a couple while playing with Connor McDavid, I don't think it increases his trade value in any way, shape, or form. Like, who in the world's going to look at it and go, wow, see Ryan McLeod playing with 97? We should go trade for that guy and play him on our top line. Not happening. So, no, I don't see it as a showcase bump.
Yeah, it's like the speed, though. You like watching the speed, keeping up with Connor. Like, it's like clocking the T-Rex in Jurassic Park. You know, you're going to, how fast can he go?
T-Rex does move extremely fast.
They're just trying to set a speed record or something, maybe.
You know, I saw a story, though, the other day. Maybe it was on TikTok or something. But it was about the T-Rex not being as agile as we always imagined it was. It's more of slow, lumbering, not a great hunter, more of a scavenger, actually. A very anti-T-Rex take. I'm a big fan of an agile, quick T-Rex. That's why I like my T-Rex.
More of a lean forward, yeah. That's the McLeod.
Yeah. I mean, but structurally, if you actually look at it, you're like, how dangerous can this guy be? How do you move that quickly on 2 legs when you're that big? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Question number 2. Let's see here, 780-218-9999. If the Oilers could bring back any goalie from the last decade to help this team right now, who would it be?
It's Mike Smith. It's Mike Smith barking at the defense. It's Mike Smith going out and playing as an extra defenseman at times if he so chooses, right? It's Mike Smith and the passion and the everything else that goes along with what everybody loved about Mike Smith. Now, there were some, I mean, any goalie for the Oilers in the past decade is going to have some warts and negativity surrounding it, but it's Mike Smith right now. He'd help the blue line. He would get them all. You want to talk about holding people accountable?
Yeah.
You mentioned Evan Bouchard, the Bouchard pinch.
No, I mean, Mike Smith would have healthy scratched Bouchard by himself right now.
Yeah.
Like, Bouchard would be getting ready to come out onto the ice, or he'd be getting in the room taping up his socks, and Mike Smith would walk by and be like, what the hell do you think you're doing? You're not going out there tonight. I think.
Are you gonna say the city needs a hero? Is this
No.
It would set it up perfectly to
no Valen Camus. No, this is not a Valen Camus take.
I know.
However, this is also might be a very recency bias opinion, but I watched Cam Talbot last night, and Cam Talbot looks great. And Cam Talbot, remember he was top 5 Vezina voting? I still don't think any goalie solves what's behind the pipes here or behind this team right now. But I'd have a lot of time for 2017 Cam Talbot to be back of this group.
That or the 2023 edition.
Aaron, the accountant, is in with hilarious accountant jokes, which I very much respect. Bring back Anders Nielsen. He was good for a few games. Remember all the guys they rotated through for a little bit here and there? You're like, maybe this is the guy. And then he wasn't the guy. And then maybe this is the guy.
Anders Nielsen.
And he wasn't the guy.
Victor Faust. A little time for that.
Fireman Trev says Talbot looks good because he left Edmonton. Yeah, but Talbot was also good in Edmonton. Talbot was no good last year, but where was he? He was in Ottawa.
Does Devin
He's good this year. He's in Los Angeles.
Clip the 10-year mark here? Would he be eligible for this?
Right at the tail end of that, I think.
The tail end, yeah.
No, I think the answer would be Talbot to this one. Question number 3, 780-218-9999. What's the better Grey Cup for the league this year, guys? Bombers Argos or Lions Argos? Also, shout out to Montreal, who still has a chance, but I think most people, the Argos are like an 11-point favorite over at Coolbet.
Get him out of here, yeah.
All right, so what's better? A rematch of the Bombers and Argos, which came down to a thrill. Like, the last couple Grey Cups have had just amazing finishes. Or the BC Lions with Vernon Adams and this high-flying offense knocking off the Bombers and this great story. Winnipeg's not going to another straight Grey Cup. What do you think is the better matchup for the league?
For the league?
For the league, Eric.
Well, for the league, you want a rematch is always a good story.
Yeah, I know.
What Vernon Adams is doing, though, and what this BC team has done over the year, I think is a story in its own as well, right? And I just think hosting that playoff game last week, and you can see the fans coming back on side and the tailgating and the pregame going on there. I just think it'd be a great feather in their cap to kind of make it to the big game and have a good week of partying down in the Hammer. So BC is like my bet. Look, I don't like the Bombers. It's
You're a Riders fan.
common knowledge. I'm not going to deny that
It's
or
in your
lie
blood.
about it. But yeah, probably for the league, you want your two best teams statistics-wise, and I'd say Winnipeg and Toronto would provide that. And again, a tasty rematch story as well. And Toronto again down in Hamilton with a chance to lift the cup too. That's the story in its own. Toronto going to Hamilton and with a chance to win the Grey Cup. But yeah, Toronto, Winnipeg to answer the question, best for the league.
That'd be Winnipeg in 4 straight.
Are we
back
picking
to
a winner
backs
too,
with
or just the
Hamilton?
matchup?
No, just the matchup.
Because
I
I
think
think if BC
the question
go in,
says just the matchup.
Yeah. Like BC winning everything would be a great story.
That would be a pretty good story. But I think like the Bombers getting their revenge as a storyline against the Argos would be pretty good.
And this would be like the last, like the Bombers
The
are
last
getting
stand
older. Like, you know
of the
what,
Bombers.
You could kind of see that maybe as we got back and we got our.
Well, and it's a different story because last year going into the Grey Cup, the Argos would have been the underdog, and the Bombers are looking for the three-peat, right? So you're thinking, but Winnipeg had a really nice year, but the Argos as defending champions, the Argos just put together one of the greatest regular seasons of all time. So the Bombers would roll into the Grey Cup. I would think probably like a 2.5-point dog, 3-point underdog against Toronto in this game. So a team that's been to 3 straight Grey Cups, won 2 of them. If it wasn't for Mark Leggio, they'd probably have 3 Grey Cups in a row as an underdog, which sets a kind of a nice story as well.
Yeah. I'm here for the Argos going on a bit of a run, though. I don't mind that. The Chad Kelly story is amazing.
Well, and then you've got this, like Chad Kelly came in late in that last time to help them secure the Grey Cup, and now has led this amazing season. Yeah. He's the all-star quarterback in the league. That'd be either way. I mean, either way, it's a good story.
Yeah, as
well,
long as
unless
the
Montreal
Alouettes
ruins
have no
it,
part of it all.
I really don't want Cody Fajardo
in there
throwing the ball with his entire body and somehow scrambling to win a Grey Cup 16-12.
They are a great heel, though. You can just see that smile, right?
As far as his Bombers-Lions games go, have you guys seen what's happening in Winnipeg practice? No Schoen, no Dembski, no Bailey.
No Bailey.
So it's like Kenny Lawler and Drew Wolodarski. Now, close practice today and tomorrow. Dembski was doing a little bit of work in street clothes, I think, yesterday. Schoen they've basically had under wraps. Osh told us a couple weeks ago that don't read everything you see and believe about Dalton Schoen. So I feel like when it's all said and done, Dembski and Bailey for sure will be out there, and Schoen would have to be – and he was in a walking boot like 2.5 weeks ago. So, but don't you think the Bombers are all of a sudden like, boom, here's everybody?
Get out the syringe, bit him up, and O'Shea, that's how he played too. He's the guy, he's a tricky guy, right? He won't give all the cards, and they'll be all fine to go. You have to keep it. It's division final here you're talking about, right?
We'll see how it plays out. Mr. Lean, did you want to get in on this?
He's leaning
you're
in.
leaning in, and you look like you're messing with the. Are you trying to ruin the board again? What's going on here?
I'm just getting ready for after you have Patty, the cool bet hotline of the day. I'm taking my mic on and taking away from Trev.
Oh, because you got leans coming.
Well,
up.
we gotta have. I'm gonna be on, so I need my mic ready. So that's all I'm doing. So
full blown bounce back.
Dip it
you
in the
don't
Europa
have
League
to,
today.
Everything I'm doing over here, you don't
This
have
guy
to
needs
point
a dub.
to.
This guy needs a dub. Mr. Lean
Yeah.
needs a dub today. Simple as that. All right, we're going to get into our cool bet hotline of the day in just a second. That is 3 questions too many for the great staff over at Park Mazda. Tell your friends about the show. We'd appreciate it. Tell them they can get it on TuneIn. Just like all those other radio stations in the city, we've weaseled our way in on TuneIn, and a very easy way for you to consume the content that we're dishing out here at Edmonton Sports Talk. All right, P. Greggy. You can find him on Twitter at P. Greggy. Pat Gregoire joins us from Cool Bet. Patty, how you doing this morning, buddy?
Doing good. I was trying, because obviously I know it's not going great with the Edmonton Oilers, but it's also not going great with the Toronto Maple Leafs right now. So I was trying to think of some positive spin that I could bring for both these clubs. Maybe we grab Hockey Canada grabs these two teams. They build a highlight reel, or I should say low light reel, and send it out to the youth of Canadian hockey players and say, this is not how you play defensive hockey, because both teams right now cannot play any semblance of what you're supposed to do in your own end. It's pretty tough to watch.
It was there was a one goal last night. I think Cuthbert called it tic-tac goal where they came in. It was Claude Giroux, I think, to Joseph, and then backdoor for a tap in. Toronto has lost 5 of their last 6. We had Gazdic on today. He's a Toronto-based guy. Obviously, he played for the Oilers, so he's got tabs on both of these teams. And he was talking about, like, at least the Leafs can still score goals to get themselves out of a little bit of trouble. Edmonton can't even do that, at least prior to tonight against San Jose. We'll see how that one plays out. But what's the level of concern in Maple Leaf land right now?
I mean, it depends who you ask, really. Some it's like fire everyone, trade everyone, the sky's falling, it's happening again. And then there's some a little more level-headed people and saying, well, like you said, well, the Stars are playing well. Austin Matthews is averaging a goal per game right now. William Nylander has a ridiculous point streak going on right now to start the year. Mitch Marner starting to heat up. Matthew Nyes looks phenomenal in that on that top line. I think there are a lot of bright spots, but then when you look at the back end, it really is struggling. But Timothy Liljegren is out for the foreseeable future after that slew foot from Brad Marchand.
Yeah.
There's also Jake McCabe, who really wasn't playing all that well to start the year, to be quite honest. But then when he goes down with injury, you kind of notice the lack of depth when it comes to this team in the defensive end. So they've had some guys that they've plucked and play that have done well in stretches of games. But when you're calling upon AHL defensemen to play, 4, 5, 6 games in a row, obviously they're going to get exposed. And that's what's going to happen. I thought Gaz nailed it on the head, though. If it wasn't for the Oilers' struggles right now, I think these Leafs struggles would be even more magnified. Yeah. Just the fact that they're stars, they're big boys, they're finding ways to score. They just also can't keep the puck out of the net. And unless if Joseph Wall, who has actually had a really strong start to the season, unless he stands on his head, the Leafs are giving up at least like 3 to 4 goals a game. Luckily for them, they can score 6, 7 goals per game. We're just not seeing that from the Oilers yet. And maybe that's a good thing, because it kind of doesn't let these guys off the hook. Like, I think I heard someone on the nasty chat today say something like, it's great that the Oilers aren't just stacking the first line, going out, beating the wheels off the Sharks and being like, see, everything's okay, guys. There seems to be that there is a commitment that they need to find a way out of it, and it's not just going to be a quick fix.
Are we at all surprised that the toughness and bulliness of Ryan Reeves has not led to success for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
It's shocking. It really is shocking. The fact that a guy that plays 4 minutes a game, and when he does play those 4 minutes, the puck seems to find in the back of the Leafs net. It's surprising that this guy hasn't had more impact on this team. I think his greatest contributor right now to this team was the Halloween Instagram video that he was
scaring people
in a garbage can and scaring people. That was probably the highlight of Ryan Reeves as a Toronto Maple Leaf right now. The difficult thing too is I think the Leafs have actually found a really nice balance in their forward group. Like I mentioned, they put Nyes up on the first line with the 2 big boys and Marner and Matthews. You've found a nice third line with Bertuzzi, Yarncroc, and now they've even put Max Domi up the middle, who had a really slow start to the season. Sounds like he's actually really engaged that second on the third line. William Nylander and John Tavares, it doesn't matter who's on their wing at this point. Those 2 guys have just such great chemistry. And then you have this fourth line that really doesn't have an identity. You have David Kampf, who's a great 2-way forward, a really great defender. You have Noah Gregor, who's been a really nice surprise, great skater. So you think, all right, we have this fourth line that can be a bit of a shutdown line, can chew up some defensive minutes, kind of hem some teams in their own end, get an offensive face-off, and then put the big boys out. The only issue is there's an anchor on that line, and it's Ryan Reeves. And they're not able to deploy this fourth line like they should because Reeves is there, and it just completely throws everything off. It's really disappointing. I tried to have a positive spin at the start of the year. It's next to impossible to see this signing as a good thing right now.
Pat Gregoire with us from Cool Bet. Outside of, and we'll get into it on the Lock Shop a little bit later on today if you hop on with Huss and I. The Thursday Nighter tonight, not really a who's who of NFL talent, but for a group of us that love betting the over 3.5 field goals, this is right in our wheelhouse tonight, right?
It's going to be a field goal fest. I don't even care what the weather is going to be like in Chicago. I haven't taken a look. I assume it's windy. I hear it's a windy city, but I don't care. I'm taking the over 3.5 field goals. This is an ugly game. Like it is a really, really bad football game. But hey, I'm actually pulling up the field goal. Somehow it's still at plus 110.
Unbelievable.
We're getting plus 110 on that.
You got to tell the people at Cool Bet that they got to move that number. Like we just keep killing that number. It's crazy.
I don't get it. I think we're going to have an over 4.5. I might even be crazy enough to ask if we can do an over 5.5. This is a really, really ugly football game. Really ugly football game.
Patty, Savage the Plumber, who is no stranger to the Nasty Chat, joins me as well every Monday and Thursday at the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino Fort Road for the Monday and Thursday Nighters. But he's always got the field goal play up. And he mentions you and Dusty by name, and he just loves it. So I thought I'd pass it along to you. But getting back to your neck of the woods there down in Toronto, and I guess Leafs struggles, yes, not as bad as out here. Maybe the Oilers are masking that a bit, but Leafs fans can always go and get a baby blue print of Shohei Ohtani, can't they? Like, are there lines to get that name? What are the odds, Patty, right now that you would suggest that Shohei Ohtani finds his way to Toronto?
I mean, I would definitely say that they're a little bit of a long shot, to be quite honest. But there's a lot of negativity in this market in Toronto surrounding the Blue Jays right now. A lot of faith that there really wasn't too much faith in this management, in this ownership, that things were going to change. Just hearing, either if it's Atkins or Shapiro talk, it's the same thing over and over and over again. But with that being said, if you really wanted to save face in this market, going out and trying to get Shohei Ohtani, I mean, they're owned by Rogers. We know the money is there. We know that they have the capabilities to do it. It's obviously a multicultural city. There is a very, high population in Asians, people coming from over in Asia, whether they're living here. I think it's I remember when Ichiro first came to Toronto, when Seattle was there. Like, it was not only like people from Japan came over, the media was there. It was a huge deal. I think there's an opportunity for a marketing standpoint for Shohei Ohtani, living in a multicultural city like Toronto. Actually could be a very good thing for him. Does he really want to have that spotlight on him? It sounds like he likes the West Coast. I find it so funny though that people are like, oh, he wants to stay on the West Coast because it's close to Japan. It's like, it's not like he can just like hop on a plane on the weekend and go visit mom and dad. It's like, it's crazy when people bring that up. It's not like he's just hopping in the car, but I do think that it does make sense. But with that being said, with the likes of the Yankees, with the likes of even the Dodgers.
I was going to say, if he wants to stay on the West Coast, the Dodgers, I mean, that's where he goes, right?
The Dodgers and that would be so crushing to the Angels. Like, the guy literally is just up the highway. Like, that is.
But would they care? Would they care? Would the Angels even care?
The Angels might just be like, whatever.
Well, all 12 fans would be absolutely heartbroken. Yeah. But I mean, I don't think they would really care. The fact that they have Ohtani and Trout, and there's a good chance both those guys at some point are going to walk away. It's devastating, but it's the Angels, so who really cares? But I don't know. Maybe we get odds on that for at CoolBet. Maybe we see if we can open up lines where Shohei Ohtani will land. I don't know if I had to throw somewhere, maybe like the 5th, 6th team
they'd be somewhere on the list but down the list.
I think they're absolutely, like, they're picking up the phone, they're talking to his agent. Like, it totally makes sense from a marketing standpoint, and from the fact that he's an absolute unicorn and would help your team win. But what really are the chances of that happening? I don't know. I guarantee you, though, someone in Toronto right now is walking downtown with a Shohei Ohtani baby blue jersey, has already done it. We've seen the Eric Lindros, even though Lindros ended up coming. There are so many just absolute jersey fouls that you see. A Sidney Crosby Toronto jersey, just absolutely insane. Just just terrible. But it's happened before. I would not be surprised if we see it again.
Patty, before I let you go, just a quick reference from the Nasty Chat here. That Movember stash is coming in nice, buddy. What is that? Is that a half handlebar? Is that kind of what you got going on there?
Yeah, it's not quite the full Fu Manchu. I don't know what the half handlebar would be.
Yeah, I don't know.
A little bit of Wendell Clark in his prime. Stick with the Toronto reference, but
it's a little
thank you
Tombstone
to
maybe.
whoever. Oh, I heard the references in Tombstone. By the way, absolute classic,
of course,
of a movie. Shame on Mr. Lean that he's never seen that movie.
It's pretty disappointing.
I mean, are we really are we surprised? Really,
it's been a tough day. It's been a tough day for Mr. Lean so far.
He needs a dub badly.
Yeah, big time.
He does. I asked him jokingly. I know he read the text, but I honestly think he needs the win more than the Oilers do. I really do. I think a win for him would go a long way for Mr. Lean. So fingers crossed he can get it done.
All right, buddy. We will talk to you on the Lock Shop a little bit later on today.
Cheers, boys. Looking forward to it.
There you go. That's Pat Gregoire. He'll be with Huss and I on the Lock Shop later on today. We'll take a deeper dive into that Thursday night banger between the Panthers and the Bears. Filthy's in and says, Dusty, Lieutenant Eric, where are the stashes, boys? Well, Eric rolls a stash quite often, too.
I'm not raising money for any particular. I'll grow a mustache if you want. I don't. I just don't. No, we do have somebody in the room.
Yeah,
with us right
YouTube
now.
Trev's got a decent little stash going, that's for sure. And we are huge proponents of Chin Strap Awareness Month.
Yes.
Which happens in every March for the entire month of Charch, as we call it. And that's when we get the little chin straps going for charity. So
I did the Movember a few times back at the old place. I remember Will Fraser would take a picture of me every single day, and we'd chart by day, almost by hour, the growth. And that was interesting.
So that's what Fraser was doing while he's supposed to be going.
Yeah, well.
Oh, there's the YouTube Trev cam. So this is YouTube Trev stash.
Yes.
Let's get a look at that right there. Trev, get right in front of the camera there. That's coming in pretty nice. I couldn't grow a mustache like that when I was 24, 25 years old.
And a little bit of red, an orange tinge in there as well.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
That's
nice. That's like when I had I used to have a goatee when I was like 24, 25, and it had red in it too. Yeah, it was just a goatee. It wasn't even like the full thing. It was just the goat, which I'll be honest.
The old prison goat.
Of all the looks that I've had, like the chin strap, I didn't mind the chin strap.
Here's your wedding
Met
photo.
my wife with the chin strap. I did my wedding photos. My goatee years, just the goatee, probably the most shameful of all of my looks. I used to go on TV, and I was just on Lethbridge TV, but I'd go on Lethbridge TV
right
with just the little goatee. It's a bad look.
Was it like pencil thin, like kind of?
No, it was like it was relatively thickish, but like not down but it was noticeable.
Same color as your hair? Like
no, because like my hair was sort of dark and
Carpet
this little red.
Oh, it's red,
like a little reddish goatee.
Little rust.
It was not a good look. It was not a good look. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999 in the Nasty Chat today as well. Waddy in Cloverdale. Mr. Lean, place the bet, won't win no green.
Too soon.
That's it from Waddy out in Cloverdale today. Keep those coming in as well. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into your cool bet hotline of the day. Wait until you see what I put together for this Oilers EST extravaganza parlay tonight.
ESTE.
This is going to be great. But let's go to Mr. Lean, always heard, never seen. What do you got tonight, buddy? What are you leaning on here?
There's a lot I've been looking at.
Of course there is. So that's what happens when you need one.
I know.
Right?
But I'm looking at one player, and I'm looking at two with him.
Okay.
There's a couple leans.
This is on the Oilers.
This is on Leon Draisaitl.
Oh, boy.
Look, if the Oilers are going to have a big game tonight and they're going to score a lot of goals, Leon Draisaitl's also going to have a big game and score a lot of goals. He's got to get going. Look, if the Oilers want to turn this season around, we can talk about the poor play of the bottom six. We can talk about the poor goaltend and defense. But also, their top guys need to be their top guys.
They do.
And that's Connor and Leon. But Connor maybe still nursing something here. So I'm going to look at the other guy that should be carrying this team, and that's Leon Draisaitl.
Okay.
Straight up. So there's two I'm looking at. I was tempted by a Leon goal, but at plus 103, Leon over 1.5 points.
So 2 points or more.
2 points or more for Leon tonight.
Love
it's
it.
plus money.
Love it.
He's only done this 3 times this season.
The next
part. But I like it for tonight. And so does Trev. I'm not putting this on Trev. I'm not. If this is wrong.
You're trying to get Sprinkle Boy in on this?
I was chatting with him about
Mr.
it,
Lean and the Sprinkle Boy.
Mr. Colleen.
That's a one-page comic book strip where you're discussing bets. I like that.
If the Oilers want to turn this season around, they need to be getting goals. They need to be putting up shots. They need to be doing everything they can to try to get as close to 10 goals tonight as possible. They need to roll the San Jose Sharks. Leon Draisaitl over 3.5 shots.
Okay.
Is plus 135. He's only done it 3 times this season.
I think I like the points more.
But I think he's gonna need to get his shots going. He's gonna be. I would hope that he is hungry to score some goals, and he's gonna be putting some shots in the net. Against Vancouver, had 5 shots. Can he do that in 2 straight games? He just needs 4 for this one. So those are the 2. I'm going with 2 leans straight
Okay.
up. 2
okay.
leans.
2 leans, double lean day.
Over 1.5 points. Over 3.5 shots for Leon. Both are plus money.
Mr. Lean loving Leon Draisaitl tonight. By the way, with Trev, I mentioned Sprinkle Boy. Somebody suggested today he becomes Captain Hunch as opposed to Captain Crunch, but Captain Hunch.
It's just a hunch.
From a betting perspective, just a hunch.
Just
it's not
hunch.
a lean, it's not a sprinkle. It's just a hunch. Let's go to Captain Hunch. I like that too. That's not bad, actually. Okay, so Mr. Lean is on a couple Draisaitl props. My cool bet hotline of the day today will be over 1.5 power play goals in this game tonight. The Oilers, PP1, they need to get going here. There's no doubt about it. The San Jose Sharks penalty kill.
PP2 is going just fine, though.
Yeah. The Sharks penalty kill is 70.2% this year, 28th in the National Hockey League. The 4 power plays that are worse than it, the Jets are 29th, the Preds are 30th, the Wild are 32nd, and who's the 31st worst power play in the league this year? Your Edmonton Oilers. So let's get on the over 1.5 power play goals for your cool bet hotline of the day. This number comes in at minus 118. That'll be your cool bet hotline of the day. We do have the Mr. Leans. Now I've got a doozy for you. This is getting on the Oilers blowing up big time tonight offensively. So I want to put this on. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prop parlay, essentially. So we're going to throw this out there. Power play goals over 1.5. We're already on that. Oilers win by 2 or more. McDavid scores. He's got to get one. This guy has been as due as he'll ever be due in his entire life. This is like if you're due for a baby at 9 months or whatever. This is 11 months in. You're like, why is this thing not coming out yet?
This is like hosting the Predators on a Saturday afternoon, dude.
No, come on. This is the Sharks. So McDavid goal, I'm going with Matty and the Draisaitl over 1.5 points. So Draisaitl 2 points, Bouchard point, Nuge point. Put them all on a card. I don't know what this number is going to be. Patty, F-Dog, Jake, whoever's watching a cool bet. Over 1.5 power play goals in the game tonight, not just the Oilers, but in the game. Oilers minus 1.5. McDavid goal, Draisaitl 2+ points, Bouchard point, Nuge point, and I think they might all get it in the first period. I think this might be a no sweater.
And Savage the Plumber's going to love this tonight at the Centric Casino Sports
To get
Bar
on
and Lounge, where I'll be at for tonight's Panthers-Bears game as well as Oilers-Sharks. Centric Casino Fort Road, where every day is game day. He's going to need 2 sheets of paper for everything you're laying down.
How can you not be on this tonight?
The field goals in the Thursday nighter, plus this, what is it, the ESTE?
The
Extravaganza?
The EST Extravaganza. That's happening tonight.
Lock it in.
One more time. Over 1.5 power play goals. Oilers minus 1.5, so win by 2 or more. McDavid goal. Draisaitl 2 points. Bouchard point. Nuge point. It's Oprah. A point for you. A point for you. A point for you.
This is the coffee.
And a win for us.
Coffee talking right now, isn't it, man?
Do you think this is the coffee talking?
Caffeine. He's racing.
It might be. I had a splash of the black.
You cash all this tomorrow. You're drinking a whole pot tomorrow morning. Hey, you'll be just downing this stuff. You'll be just, let's go another EST.
Full-blown Phil Weston kicking and screaming tomorrow.
But yeah.
Full pot if we hit this 6-play extravaganza tonight. Let's lock this thing in. Savage the Plumber says, Eric, I'm going heavy on the Sharks tonight. Huge mistake. Huge mistake, Savage the Plumber.
Right with the ESTE. Come on, let's go.
Tonight's the night. They win by 4 or 5, and the big boys get going. The power play gets going.
Season starts
and we're just making it rain on the EST Extravaganza. That'll be posted at CoolBet at some point today. I posted last night. I said the Oilers are, what was it, like plus 120 to win by 3 or more. And you know who slid in on the replies? Huss goes, what's the Sharks on the money line? because Huss is hilarious. So we'll be on the lock shop.
There's a few of those
little bit later
Huss
on
responses
today.
in the nasty chat right now as well.
Are there
a little bit of salty? The show started off very positive. Everybody, hey, this is great. Win coming tonight or whatever. But not so. Well, you'll be laughing at them tomorrow, though, right?
Damn straight. I will.
Doing snow angels in your piles of bills.
It'll be a big hearty laugh.
Yeah.
11 Sinky in the nasty chat says, I'm going to Salt Bay all over that parlay. Just sprinkling like crazy on the parlay. You got to love that today, I think. All right. You got to ride with us on that one. I think it's going to be good. GSB says, hey, is there an app for CoolBet, or do you got to use the website? Yeah, if you go to coolbet.com, the site's like designed mobilely. So I've just saved it on my homepage, so it just pops up like an app for me. But, use the code LOCKSHOP when you sign up. You get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit up to about 200 smackaroos. But let's ride with that one tonight.
Wheels, I better see you at the casino tonight because you have ditched me for like 3 straight games.
He didn't show up last week?
He says, I'm an Oilers fan, but I put $20 on the Sharks. Anyone with me?
Classic Wheels.
That is a
impression,
classic
too.
Wheels bet, yeah.
That was really good. All right, should we get into our orange and blue breakfast? Let's dive into the orange and blue brekkie to get you set for the Oilers and the San Jose Sharks tonight. Are we putting computers up? Okay, wait a second. Let me find something. Let me fire something up here. Let's see. What should we go with today? Stylish. This is called Stylish Dynamic Fashion Beat.
This has got to be great.
Let's see how this sounds. Let's see here.
This is for you, hey?
Give it to me.
It's time for another Orange and Blue Breakfast, powered by Mobile One, only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
Doesn't sound overly breakfasty, though, does it? I thought I had another one that was, didn't I say earlier, like, this is pretty laid back.
I can try again.
What's this?
Let's do that.
Summer House Royalty. We already hit that one. We got a bunch of these sports ones. I don't have that. I can't bring that up that quickly. It's in where? A folder inside which folder, Maddie? In the Edmonton Sports Talk shared folder? I'll see if I can get to that. It might, you know what? This might shut down the whole system.
Yeah, we don't.
This might shut down the whole system.
No more dare. Look, he can't resist. He can't resist.
Yeah, Maddie, don't touch the thing. Don't touch the thing, Maddie. Well, I know, but remember, I have to do that thing where I have to select it a little bit differently because I haven't saved the shortcut yet.
It's a good thing we pre-tape this entire show at 2 a.m. every day and just rerun it at 6.
Yeah. You don't know what I'm doing. You shut down the entire stream earlier today. All right, let's just get into it. Orange and Blue Breakfast from Mobile One, Blue Water Lubricants. Mobile One and the Edmonton Oilers. One oil, many champions. And like I say, if you like your oil lubey as possible, Mobile One is the answer. It's the lubiest in the business with Mobile One. Let's get into your projected lineups for tonight. From an Edmonton Oilers perspective, we dove into this a lot earlier in the show today. Yesterday at practice, according to future Nielsen show guest Bob Stauffer, Ryan McLeod still up on that top line with Connor McDavid. So you'd be looking at 97 between 18 and 71. And then Leon Draisaitl with Fogle and Holloway. The Nuge with Gagne and Kane. And until this game gets under control, if it gets under control, we'll see how it plays out. But I think you'd see a lot of those three lines to start this game. The others should come out red hot. I wouldn't be surprised if they're up by 3 at the end of the first. I might sound a little delusional today because people have seen this team so far, but I think the Oilers absolutely kicked the crap out of the San Jose Sharks.
This first period could be like the one in Vancouver, just with the score
but
flip.
with finish.
With the score flipped. Like, you just flip that score. I could see them allowing one. Like, I could see them allowing a real bad one, right? But I could see them, with the amount of shots and the pressure they generated early on in Vancouver, I mean, you do that against this team, you should find some sort of a result. And I could see that first period just being a total flip-flop of what you saw score-wise in Vancouver.
Like, the one thing you can't have at the end of the first tonight, and if I see anybody say it on Twitter or X, I'm blocking them immediately.
Ooh.
You can't have Oilers got goalied in that period. Enough of that garbage.
But what if they do?
Create some goals. They're not. No, it doesn't matter. Getting goalied is just an excuse for not finishing your chances. Bear down. So, yeah. Hamblin, Raphael Lavoie, Derek Ryan on the line that probably won't see the ice much unless the game is in full control. Ekholm, Bouchard, Nurse, Cody Ceci, Kulak, and Desharnais. The real question and what everybody will be watching for today will be who's in the starter's net. Will it be Pickard? Will it be Skinner? A lot of people are saying it should be Calvin Pickard. If you're going to try to send a message to everybody, in the group and shock them, you think it probably would have to be Pickard in this situation. But I could see, like Gazdic said, he made a case for it earlier today.
Yeah, I think either or, right? You could.
This Campbell going down means Stuart Skinner's your guy. So if Stuart Skinner's going to be your guy, why would you not start him in your first game post Campbell send down?
Skinner Pickard is not the tandem that you were told.
No,
and it shouldn't be.
Barbershop Window says Oilers are going to get goalied again. We all know it. No, you can't. You can't get goalied. And you can't use that stupid trap game excuse either. When you're awful, you don't get trapped. Good teams get trapped. Bad teams don't get trapped. Hurdle on the other side. Here's a list that we'll see. Tomas Hurdle, Zetterlund, and Eklund on the top line. Granlund. How many guys do these guys have with Lund in the name? Eklund, Zetterlund, Granlund. Mikael Granlund with Anthony Duclair and LeBanc. Sturm with Philip Zadina and Hoffman. Carpenter, Kunin, and Giovanni Smith. You know, that lineup group is not a lineup group that should have only won one game so far. Like that's an okayish.
I don't think so.
That's an okayish forward group. Mario Ferraro, Ty Emberson, Mark-Edward Vlasic, Kyle Burrows, Nikita Okatuyuk, and Jan Ruda on the back end, which could be where the San Jose Sharks' problems come from. Yeah. As for a list of guys who aren't tough enough to play hockey tonight, Rick, what do you got?
So good. For the Oilers, Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark both listed as day-to-day. And for the Sharks, you got 5 on the IR, Jacob McDonald, Matt Benning, Alexander Barabanov, Logan Couture, and Mitchell Russell.
See, so they're banged up. Like, you can't even use excuses for this Oilers team from an injury perspective so far.
No.
I mean, McDavid missed a couple of games, and he might not be what he is. So maybe there's a little, but he's playing. He's playing.
But you have Connor Brown and Matthias Janmark both in that, well, for Connor Brown, maybe the top 9 or whatever. But if both those guys were providing a little something right now, you would say, okay, them out of the lineup would be, but they haven't been, so it really doesn't matter.
I mean, does anybody in the world say, man, the Oilers miss Matthias Janmark right now, outside of Tommy Gazzola? Outside of Tommy Gazzola. Does anybody else in the world say the Oilers really miss Matthias Janmark?
But they should be, and that's the problem.
No, I don't think they should.
Well,
I don't think anybody in the world misses Matthias Janmark.
It's not like he's the cause, but I said earlier, too, you got a lot of guys in the depth that had 10-plus, at least doing a little something. You're not missing him now because he hasn't done nothing.
$780-218-9999 for a prediction on this game tonight. I'll get to my prediction in a second. Lieutenant Eric, what do you got for a key to the game?
You give the fans and the viewers and even the listeners the effort that you brought again against that game in Vancouver. And I'm sure, as I said, the scores flipped coming out of the first. And I think, as you're kind of mentioning, too, hammer him early and don't let this thing, third periods have been a concern. Just certain times where you're taking the foot off the pedal. I want to see kind of like a full-on onslaught, and it starts in the first. So I think if they come out strong, kind of buzz around like they were doing in Vancouver, they should be fine. Prove me wrong, Oilers.
Game day prediction tonight. And what do I go with? What do I go with? Fights last game?
Anything to add to the ESTE?
I mean, I can't add anything else. We're already on over 1.5 power play goals. Oilers to win by 2 or more. McDavid goal. Draisaitl over 1.5 points. It's moved? It's -1. We moved it already. You sick puppies, eh? All these people watching and listening, just getting on here and moving these lines. Is ours up yet? Well, it'll be up soon. It'll be up by the time we get rolling with the lock shop a little bit later on today. For Draisaitl, over 1.5 points, -111 now. All right. You know what? I am going to go with Dylan Holloway scoring a goal tonight.
Okay.
This is not anywhere tied into any sort of like pick with cool bet. But yeah, I think my basic game day prediction today, here on the Orange and Blue Breakfast, powered by Mobile One, the lubiest in the business.
Shootout winner.
Dylan Holloway scores today. Add it on the list. As always, Orange and Blue Breakfast brought to you by Mobile One, Blue Water Lubricants, Mobile One, and the Edmonton Oilers. One oil, many champions. If you like your oil as lubey as possible, Mobile One gets it done. All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. You know, outside of the hiccup today with the show dying early on because Maddie's taking suggestions from listeners now, and then the audio board kicking out ever so slightly. Really fun show. Really fun show. I got the coffee. Eric's been wearing the 5XL sloth.
It's a great fit.
Chunk Goonie shirt. It's so huge.
I feel like Rod or Todd when their house got blown over by that hurricane or whatever.
And then they had to wear. Yeah, look at this shirt that this guy's got on today.
Look at this thing.
Woo! You know what? You could jump out of an airplane, and if you held in the sleeves, you just float right down.
One of those flying squirrel suits or whatever.
Yeah,
They jump off a cliff or whatever.
Yeah, you could go cliff jumping with that thing.
Easy.
Also, if you ended up in water with it on, you'd probably drown.
Yeah, could probably
So,
swimming hazard.
That'd be a tough spot to be in. But nice that we got that done today. Hey, if you want your place to look as good as ours, you know where you get that done? William Huff. Do we even need to tell you? Everybody knows William Huff. They're wrapping Rogers Place. They're wrapping Commonwealth. They're wrapping the Edmonton Sports Talk offices. Is there anywhere else in the city that needs to be wrapped?
The wrap game.
Probably not, because they wrapped it all. That'd be a cool thing. Bruce from William Huff doing a wrap as a commercial.
I'm sorry that it hasn't been done yet, but if that idea could kind of spur them on to do something like that,
Yeah.
I'd love it.
They've been
Don't need any credit or anything. I want to see that.
Churning along since 1972, so you know they're good.
Yeah, they call them OGs. You could include 1972 in the wrap. You know,
OG,
been around
in
since
the, OG in
72.
the marketing game and stuff like that, yeah.
You can wrap your room too. Ramming 2 with 2, yeah.
Fully agree with that. I like it. What'd you learn on the show today, buddy? I got something I learned. I got something.
Don't air text that I'm.
I know. I saw that don't air text. I almost wanted to reply.
I've been there. I've been there a lot across from the old place, the Don't Air Shawarma House, across from 1260 there.
On our side or from the other side?
The other side.
It used to be.
It was a burrito place.
No. Oh, well, no. There was another Don't Air place there before.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it. I used to hit that up back when we had like early when it opened.
I know a Don't Air and Shawarma House. But anyways, what did I learn today? Pizza guy Justin might be showing up this evening to the Centric Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Centric Casino Fort Road. I'll be there for Panthers and Bears as well as Oilers and Sharks. $9.99 for a smoked brisket cheese steak.
Can't go wrong.
Not cheesecake, cheese steak. Tastes amazing. Hell of a deal. Your choice aside, au jus, gravy as well. And with the purchase of that sandwich, you get a deal on some beer and highballs and a free square board and your next chance to get a new draw for a trip for 2 to LA.
Wait, stop. You if you purchase the sandwich, you get a deal on drinks?
Yeah.
What?
$9.99.
How are we just learning this?
$9.99 for a smoked brisket cheese steak sandwich.
And the fries and everything, but you also get a deal on a drink.
Yeah.
How do they do this? How does a casino make money with deals like this?
Pizza guy Justin might be there tonight. Trevor, the plumber, will be there. Trevor Savage as well. Renee is there always, Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays. And might have a special guest, a special EST guest as well tonight.
What?
Yeah.
Mr. Lean at the casino will be seen.
He's expressed interest. Now, I don't know. It's not confirmed. Game time decision.
Whoa, wait a second here. My family is out of town today. I, too, could possibly pop by tonight. Unless I decide to just fall asleep.
Yeah, and have a Don't Air from Don't Air Shawarma House.
This is not a bad idea.
You're burying the lead, though. Your family's out of town for how long?
They're gone for like the November break, which I still don't understand why these schools get November breaks now.
Yeah,
I just don't understand it. Their spring break wasn't enough. But anyway,
so
they're probably on the road right now.
She totals your truck and then skips town.
Yeah, I'm gonna back into your truck, and then I do like the people, and I would have respect for her if she was just like, you know what, screw this. He gets a new vehicle, I don't. I'm gonna back into it just to get a new one, and I respect that move. I respect it more than just not paying attention and leaving the garage and backing into the truck, which is parked in the driveway. What's your question? Yell it loud.
Why isn't she driving the truck out? Oh, I guess never mind.
Because we got her a rental. She's leaving it there, picking up a vehicle from my parents and coming back.
It's the fox chicken and the corn cob here.
Plus, you think I'm going to let her drive a truck that she just backed into in the driveway?
Well,
no chance.
Well, going on the highway.
No, I don't care. No. She's off truck for, I say 2 months. It'll probably be like when she's back on Wednesday, she'll drive it again because she makes a call anyway. And I'll be out of town because I'm heading to Grey Cup. that's trouble.
You should drive the truck down there. Cross country.
All the way.
Hey,
well, not
down
Grey
to the
Cup.
Hammer.
Oh, this weekend, all the way across to the Hammer.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Nielsen's cross country trip in
Meet
the pickup
folks
truck.
along the way, you know,
And
that type
I
of thing.
put gas in this truck for the first time yesterday.
Yeah.
Holy.
We were looking forward to this, weren't we? Hey,
Why are you looking forward to it?
Well, just your thought. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no, it's insanely expensive.
Yeah.
It's insanely expensive to fill up a truck. Yeah, was Frey saying that? Wait till, yeah.
Just $20. $20.
It just kept going. Like, this truck must have a huge gas tank. 'Cause I finally shut it off at $110. I was like, I'm not putting in any more. I can't justify putting in more than $110 of gasoline into a vehicle.
$20 from here to home. That's all you need. Right?
God, man. I should have thought about this.
That was something you didn't mention once at all.
You know what else? I've also had the truck for a month or a week. I haven't hauled anything in yet.
No.
So,
well,
I mean, maybe I wasn't supposed to become a truck guy.
Bit off a little more than
but
you should.
it still looks pretty sick, even with a little bit of red paint on the front corner now because my wife backed into it. Anyway, let's get to sound of the day today. What do we got for sound of the day?
Pick a file.
Yeah. Ooh,
right?
You want to
Good,
pick a
then
file
I'll
today?
pick
You want to pick a file today?
I feel like.
I don't know. Let's just play the Mike Smith win song.
Okay.
Why not? I mean, one of these goalies needs to get it on track. Why not hit up this absolute banger that we used to drop back in the day?
It is simply on fire. Playing insane. Gotta admire how he loves to beat the Flames. And when he's in the net, no complaints. Has the desire to win every game. Even though you know he will drop gloves and go, gonna steal the show with that sick flow. In spite of his age, he can still make a save in the cage. In spite of his age, he can still make a save in a cage. Then someone will say, I can't believe how well he is played. In spite of his age, he can still make a save in a cage. He hasn't faded. Nothing but sensational. Oil fans elated, 'cause Mike's incredible. And what does he want? Wants the big prize. And what has he got? That look in his eyes. Even though you know he'll drop the gloves and go, he's gonna steal the show with that sick flow. In spite of his age, he can still make a save in the cage. In spite of his age, he can still make a save in a cage.
Oh, that still slaps, doesn't
I
it?
can't believe it. The covering of
God, that
Billy
was so
Corgan
good.
is
was
not
so
everybody
good.
can do it.
Jenna in the Nasty Chat says, rare miss on an Oilers spoof track, if you ask me. But everybody else seems to like it. Jay Bobby says the Smith song is a real banger. And how about Chris says, I was thinking of fading the Oilers today, but this song has changed my outlook on this game. LFG, go Oilers.
Jerry
All right.
says, I don't remember hearing this. Incredible.
Yeah, well.
It was a...
they were shutout songs.
lesser, yeah.
Right? So the Smith and Koskinen songs didn't get played a lot because they were shutout songs. Text of the day for A&W today. Get a $20 gift card to A&W. If you want to get your hands on that, make sure you're pounding the box every single morning at 780-218-9999. This one just trickled in. I know we had some really good comments in the Nasty Chat earlier when Mr. Lean killed the stream today. Oh, Mr. Lean, he's the guy who killed the stream. Are you gonna all of a sudden just start taking requests from listeners that might sewer the show? Is that happening now? Is that a thing?
You can't resist.
The thing is, we were good with the program for a while, so at some point I got to try something.
Yeah.
So now I got to wait a little bit, but there'll be a moment in time again.
You plan on killing the show again in the future? That's amazing.
Not killing the show. Well, I'm off this show, so that's good.
Yeah.
I have no problem trying things once I feel comfortable with the system again. So is it happening next week? Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Is it going to happen a month from now? 100%
All right,
it will.
So a month from now, Maddie will take us off the air again. Amazing.
Or
amazing.
Something amazing is going to happen to the show, and we're all going to
It'll be worth it. Like, it was totally worth it.
Survey Brett, put it in the phone.
Yeah. Text of the day today. This one comes in from Coach Mike and says, I miss Yanmark. Signed, Jay Woodcroft. He does love him, doesn't he?
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
All right, what are you watching tonight? I mean, we got hockey, we got football. We're doing it at Century.
Yeah, I'll be at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge, Century Casino Fort Road. It's the Panthers and Bears. Your little appetizer, I guess, before the hockey game tonight. Oilers and Sharks. I guess NFL fans watching that hockey game might be thinking the same thing we're thinking about the Thursday nighter, right? In terms of two bad teams going at it in prime time, but here we are. You got the ponies going on as well at the Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. The Caliente Greyhounds are right around the corner. And, Wheels, Trevor the Plumber, Trevor Savage, Renee will be there, and perhaps Mr. Lean and a few others. Rob, I'm hoping Norma comes back because I got to buy a card for Christmas here. Norma Jean, and a few others as well. And Susan, if you're listening, I want that Nick Robertson card as well. Bring that tonight and to help me complete the crackback. Centric Casino Sports Bar Lounge tonight.
We'll be back tomorrow morning breaking down a convincing victory for the Edmonton Oilers. I do think that'll be the case. If they don't win, I will start the show tomorrow morning by referring to myself as a big old fat stupid idiot.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's how confident I am in it.
And coffee. More coffee.
Yeah. For YouTube Trev, or as we're calling him now, Captain Hunch and Mr. Lean, a.k.a. Mr. Sprinkle, and Lieutenant Eric, I'm Dustin Nielsen. Stick around. Hangouts coming up. Lock Shop on the way today as well. Two guys and a goalie still to come on Edmonton Sports Talk as well. Do not go anywhere. The great sports talk continues right here. Have a great day. Tell your friends about the show. Take it easy.